Welcome to week 13 of the Shadowguard. Glod has returned.
Indeed, I have.
Good to have you back. This is also my first D&D stream that I have streamed in the new basement, the new location. So, yeah, this is my new place. It has lots of lights. There's a window that you can't see on the screen that's that way. Yeah. Charlie,
I can see you so much better now. It's crazy.
Well,
how
I actually have we have the daylight lights right here, and there's 6 more back there. It's very bright in this room.
I never realized that you were attractive. I always just assumed you were an ugly mess under all that darkness.
That's why I keep it hidden. That way, it's unsuspecting. That way, you're able to still roleplay properly.
Don't let the lighting fool you.
Yes, because now I'm distracted.
Yes. Charlie, you got any announcements?
We launched a new Stars Without Number campaign right here on the channel. It's going to be coming out as a podcast, but we do record all our sessions live on stream, so you can watch that. Right now it's Sundays. We have a very loose schedule, so we'll just be announcing them as we go. It's called Space Case, the Space Opera podcast. Check it out. I'll post some more times and stuff. But I'm very excited about the cast. The cast is all professional podcasters or stand-up comedians, so it's going to be really wild. None of them are really regular role players, so it should be an interesting time. That's my only announcement. Other than that, hello everyone. Welcome to the Chop Shop Network and Shadowguard.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I don't got too much on my end. I don't know what's going on with the article yet. I looked for it. He hasn't emailed me. We'll find out. Whatever it happens, it happens. Other than that, I guess we'll just kind of do the same thing we did last week. We're going to go through our characters real quick, reintroduce them slightly, give a little bit of maybe info about them, and then I'll do a quick recap. We'll figure out what Glod did, and then we'll get into the action. So let's go ahead and start with Magnus. Go ahead and go through your character and all that stuff.
I play a gnome necromancer named Magnus Munch. He is a little bit dirtier, scragglier than a lot of gnomes. He got a big kind of scraggly black beard, a top hat, and kind of one eye that pops out, a wonky eye. And he really enjoys the company of dead people. Not that he's an evil person, because he's not. He just is interested in dead people.
Sounds good. Yeah. Creepy mortician dude. All right, Luke. Let's hear about your character, sir.
Yes, I am Luke Warmwater. I am a halfling artificer who's also a gunslinger. My motto is shoot first, ask questions later, and assume everybody is out to get me.
When did you first develop that motto?
Sheesh. Since somebody killed a bird right in front of me in cold blood.
So
an asshole.
Like a week ago?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Not sure what you're referring to.
Yeah, no idea. Sounds good. Elle, why don't you go through your character?
My character is Elle Clark. She is a human rogue. She is not the oldest of the group, which I learned last week.
You're the most mature, though.
Yeah, mentally oldest.
Sure.
And also the tallest, because...
We're short.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're all very short.
Yeah, you guys are. And we have Glod. Well, I want to go describe the character, tell us a little bit about him, and tell us what you did what you did on the first night of the orc raid, the first day of it.
So, I am Glod Rocksmacker. I am a Hill Dwarf Ranger, particularly a monster slayer. During the last evening, I was guarding the other gate, just to make sure that was secured as well.
Were you at the north or the south gate?
I was at the north gate.
Okay, so you encountered a few bands of just normal orcs kind of trying to charge through, break through. You were fighting with the guards and some peasants in the back that had short bows. There were probably about 12 guards, about 20 peasants or so. By the time at least the point in time we're at right now, you're down about 3 guards, and most of the peasants have fallen. You have about 10 peasants left. There were warg attacks that came in during the night. And it was difficult, and you were just kind of the one there holding it. And they held the number. In the overall, you feel like you're doing a good job, But yeah, and then another thing happened a little bit later that I'm not sure if you're privy to, but a bell rang. I think maybe a bell didn't ring out. I was thinking it was gonna ring out, but Luke encountered
Entity.
an entity. So I'll just do the quick recap for everybody in this. Basically, the group has decided on their trip. They were hired by Glod, who is part of the Red Suns. Were hired to go hunt a vampire in Davenport, and on the way they stopped in Ostwald, I believe is where you're at, and decided that you guys wanted to help out the local folk after killing some wargs off. Thanks to a little bit convincing by Luke, which seems to was a good choice since they're being hit pretty hard, and your help has been, key in keeping these orcs back. Throughout the night, the orcs are trying to run over the walls. At one point, you guys at least will hear that a troll attacked the southern gates. That was taken out, but with many losses. And the orcs themselves, the sigil they have on their armor or on their body is that of a black bat with red eyes, which both Magnus and Elle recognized. At one point, Luke decided when they had kind of a lull in the fight to go check the town out, and looted an entire general store as much as he could that fits 500 pounds.
Entire store.
As much
And
as
then
he
I dump
could.
bodies there because I have a master plan.
As much as he could into his bag of holding. But he looted a bunch of just random generic stuff.
It's a lot of stuff.
He literally described it as just like taking an arm and sliding it
Yes.
into a
Yes.
bag. Holding.
Well, while he was walking back to Magnus and Elle, he spied a person in a cloak. Thinking it was Rex, as he came back, tried to convince the group to come, and they both were kind of against it. He was like, fine, I'm doing it myself. Convinced a few guards to go with them, and they hunted down this person in the cloak. Took a little bit of time, found him in the mayor's house. He was rummaging through some stuff. He was caught, escaped through a window, did not die, and took off running. And then I don't know if you guys actually met back up, or if that's exactly I think it's where we ended it.
I was about to see what was behind the desk.
Right, you were gonna go look behind the desk.
Elle has her hand up very politely.
Elle.
Did I recognize it, or was it from Magnus's?
It was from my vision, but I think it was
True.
in your vision too.
I didn't have one.
She did not have one. She did pass.
Oh.
so
'Cause you're
technically,
smart.
only Magnus is the one who recognizes it. Correct.
But he
Mixed
told
I
up
think
or
I
you
mentioned
not?
it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mentioned it out loud to Elle.
Yeah.
Now, I want to mention the only reason that I think Elle and I didn't go with Luke. It's not like we abandoned him. Like Luke and Magnus got in a big fight in the rain about the farmer that he shot, and then that's when Luke stormed off. So Elle and I held our positions.
That's true.
It was the emotional high point of last session.
It was very dramatic. And it also is, of course, thunderstorming throughout the night, because that's how it works. Raids. It always happens during thunderstorm. But yeah, Luke, you were going, the thief got away, and you go behind the mayor's desk. And you go ahead and give me an investigation check, actually. Why don't you?
Alrighty, wish me luck.
8. Alright, so you go rummaging around, and you like opening drawers. I mean, you see books and paper. Nothing that really strikes you as out of the ordinary. Maybe this wasn't what the thing he was looking for, or whatever it was, wasn't in this location. But you don't see anything that doesn't seem like it's not part of the mayor's work, from what you can see. Well, you stopped him, and that's the one important part is that he's now fleeing, injured and wounded, barely holding on, and whatever he was trying to get, he did not get. That you do know.
So, I think the two of you guys should stay here, and the other two should come back to the front with me. Just in case they come
You
back.
saved them all.
I saved all of them, Aaron. Get out of here with
Let's
that
look
nonsense.
here, scrolling up. They are all alive. Just barely, because 2 almost died to them. So close. Yeah. All right, so
Are they
two of
gonna
them,
stay, or-
I think the 2 of them go. Sure, we'll keep an eye out. We'll as soon as the mayor returns, we'll alert him of what happened and let him know.
That's wonderful of you. Yes, I'm going to be going now. Can I leave? as I like mix my accents up.
Okay, so you go wandering off. You go right back to where Magnus and Elle are at, or what do you do?
I think I'm gonna wander around to I don't know, somewhere.
Okay. So you just go. Wait.
Another gate.
I actually go wandering towards one of the gates. Elle and Magnus, what are you two doing? It's been probably about a half hour, and there hasn't been an attack. We're kind of fast forwarding a little bit in time here, but you haven't seen an attack in about a half hour or so.
Now remind me, I used Arcane Recovery last time on a short rest, right?
You were using it. This is the same short rest in a sense.
Is it okay? Right. So can I gain 2 more spell slots back, or 2 levels of spell slots back, rather?
Well, it's during the same short rest, so you would have already. Nothing's happened since you guys took that short rest besides conversation and Luke kind of running off.
Okay, that's what I couldn't remember because there was 2 waves of battle.
Yeah, it was
and
2
I couldn't
waves.
remember. I couldn't remember if we had taken a short rest between the 2 waves, and that's when I recovered my spell slots or not.
You know, it was 2 waves, short rest. Luke fighting with you guys playing as the guards.
Oh, that's right. Then we fought as the guards. That's right. Okay, yeah. So, you know Magnus, a consummate scholar. So he's just gonna study his spell book pretty intensely, and probably still perched up in the branch of this pine tree.
Okay.
Overlooking the wall slightly. With also, he's got his unseen servant next to him on the ladder in the tree with the bullseye lantern, just like shining like a beacon light out across the fields outside of the wall, looking for more orcs.
Okay. And that lamp stays for 8 hours, or 6 hours, something like that. So
I'll just let it burn all
as you
night
kind
out
of
there.
scan like out and through, you don't see anything come into its line of sight. But same thing as the lightning flashes in the back, you see the silhouettes of like this orcish horde or war band off in the distance, probably about 700-800 yards out, feet out. Elle, what are you doing? It's been, like I said, it's been about a half hour since really any kind of actions happened. What do? You just have to chat with Magnus, you go wandering off, you sit there and look pretty, what do you do?
I suppose I'd mostly just be like facing the wall, making sure that nothing else has snuck by or anything.
Okay, you're kind of just keeping an eye. Why don't you give me a perception check? 14, okay. Yeah, you're kind of looking around. You don't have dark vision, so you can only really see what you can see along. So you're kind of keep looking along the fences, and from what you can see, you don't see anything, at least in your line of sight, try to come over or anything like that. There are some guards and some commoners that are grabbing some of the dead bodies along the wall and carrying them towards the middle of town. But yeah, it kind of goes on like that for a while. That's what you two are doing. So, Luke, you start heading towards one of the southern gates. Or you go towards one of the gates. You head towards the north gate, where you encounter Galad, kind of directing different people on where to go and what to do.
Awesome. I go stand next to him. Arms crossed, like nodding.
Wow, there's this halfling now walked up next to you and just kind of nodding as you're saying things.
I'm probably waving my arms, directing people and accidentally poke him in the face. Yes. I turn around and I go, "Oh, what you doing here?"
I could ask you the same thing there.
Now, I motion to the wave of dead orcs outside the wall and I go, "I'm just busy killing things."
Oh, yeah? So, just so you know, there's kind of like this shadowy figure here, orc guy, who's, pretty good at throwing knives and stuff. He kind of disappeared on us. Have you seen him?
I have not, but throwing knives, that seems you just need to stay out of knife range and you'll be good.
Well, one might believe that he wasn't a whiz at throwing knives. But anyway, he has to leave the city somehow, so I guess I just kind of was wondering where you might go, So how's the battle been going over here then?
We've got some expected losses. I nod to the dead peasants. But overall better than I could have expected with what I had.
So, how many orcs did you kill there?
Make up a number.
376 and a half.
Oh, you got a half of one there. Did you and some other guy kind of like stab him at the same time, you know?
Yeah, my arrow hit right when his sword did. There was a whole dispute.
Oh yeah, you know, that's not that too bad there. I actually kind of took my time there and killed 500.
Oh, really now?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
you know.
Even rounded number like 500?
Well, you know, I kind of took a nap after I did all the work there. So,
Oh, yeah? You hit 500 and you're like, I'm done for now?
Yeah.
You hit
You know,
your
there's this
quota.
thing called reload in the vehicle. You only get paid for the amount you kill, and once you go over that, there you're just doing stuff for free. You know how it is.
Well, I mean, I can't blame you there wanting to get paid.
But yeah, you need some help on this front there. You want to help us on the other front, or what's the plan here?
Well, things look pretty covered here for now. I think I got most of these guards in reasonable places. I can come see how you guys
fantastic,
are
dude.
making out.
So, and I fill him in with the details on the walkover about what happened in the house,
Okay.
just to give him some perspective.
Yeah. Okay. So you start kind of walking them back. You eventually, you're assuming you're walking back to where the house or to where Magnus and Elle are at. I want to clarify.
To where Magnus is.
Okay.
Well, maybe I know he's a hunter, right? He's good at tracking things.
Yeah.
I might bring him to the house to see if he sees something I don't, because I would be smart enough to do that.
Okay. You guys spend a good 10-minute walk going towards the house. For you, Elle and Magnus, no movement on your end. Anything you guys see, there's nothing. As Galad and Luke, you get to the mayor's house. Two guards are standing guard inside of the building as you enter in. They kind of prepare themselves to fight when they see it's you, and they kind of relax. Oh, it's you, sir.
Aziz there. So this is the room where the things happened there. You want to take a quick peek, and he was behind a desk there, so maybe I missed something. Can you just take a quick gander and see if I overlooked something?
I reckon I could do that.
Why don't you give me an investigation check, sir?
Nope, looks good to me.
I mean, it basically for you, same thing. It looks like, just normal mayor paperwork and books and stuff like that. Nothing really out of the ordinary. So, you probably spend like 10 minutes shuffling through stuff, flipping through folders and whatnot, and there's nothing. So, you two, I'm assuming, eventually just kind of give up and decide to meet back up with Magnus and Elle, see what's kind of going on there.
I guess there's nothing there.
The problem is all these reading books.
Why don't they have pictures? So, yeah, you guys, after another 10-minute walk or so, you make it to Magnus and Elle. You're both still, Elle's walking along the fence line, kind of peering over every so often. Magnus is sitting there studying his book and research. Magnus, what specifically are you studying, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, when I'm like preparing spell slots, I go over runes, and things like that. Read back through incantations is a big one for Magnus. He has a hard time remembering verbal and semantic components. He knows, like, he can connect a material opponent with a spell any day. Like, oh, I remember this, that's the spell I use a diamond for. But remembering all those incantations, they're in a magical cipher language. It's hard to remember all that junk.
Okay.
And his brain kind of a little loopy, He's got too much other knowledge in there anyway.
Too much brandy.
And
He's
that's
too much brandy.
too many thimbles full of brandy.
Okay. All right. Well, you both see, at least at one point, you kind of catch two short silhouetted figures walking towards you, casually, at least from what you can see. And eventually, in the light, like you turn at Magnus, your light towards him, and they blind you guys for a second. And yeah, you can see that it's Luke and Galad walking towards the two of you.
I left my goggles up so I don't get blinded permanently.
As they walk up, I'm gonna be like, oh, like down from the top of a tree, by the way.
Okay.
Like,
Glad you're still here. How fared you in the battle?
Well, clearly not as well as our friend here who took out 500, but I did rather fair.
Thumbs
Well,
up.
you must have killed about 494 orcs since I last saw you, Luke.
Oh yeah, some of them count as extra points there because they have 2 weapons, so there are 2 orcs.
Ah, yes,
But,
Vlad,
so-
you're learning an important lesson about Luke, which is his scorekeeping is never fair. Never fair.
It's fair because now, what about that guy I shot out there who's piloting that giant thing of armaments? That guy can at least counts as 400.
Whatever you say, Luke. He was valuable in the battle, but I don't know. And I kind of start grumbling to myself.
Oh,
about-
anyway, so I was right. You all were wrong. There was some crazy guy there, and the guards almost died. But I kept them all alive for once because that's what we do there. is I
a
stare at Magnus.
crazy guy.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like one of them footage fillers. Like we talked about prior.
Like Elle.
No, more like a Raxus than an Elle.
So it was not Raxus, is what you're telling me.
It threw knives, so maybe. I
Have
didn't
we ever
really
known
take a good look at that there.
Have we ever known Raxus to throw knives?
No.
Have you ever known what Raxus's true form looks like there? It could be Raxus for all we know.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're back now. We shouldn't stay split up for too long. That's dangerous.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So what do you guys do? You just set up still and kind of keep watch for the rest of the night.
I guess that's what I'll do.
I feel like I want to go check my trap, make sure it's still set up.
Okay. I don't remember what your trap was. Remind me really
We'd
fast.
set up a bunch of buckets
Oh.
of oil
Yes.
on the second story of the inn, in case we needed to run through the inn and burn it down with a bunch of orcs inside.
I do remember that.
It's our plan B.
Right.
We set up.
I don't like our plan B.
It was at the singing wench. I'll have to look
Yeah.
in there to see the name. I had to look.
Sleep.
Whichever one she's doing at the time.
Sub wench.
But yes, you go back there. It is all still set up. And roughly you get there, you get back, and during that time, Magnus, nothing's going on. It's been probably now, as you compare the speed of time, it's probably been like 2 hours since the last time a wave is hit.
So, you think they'll negotiate a surrender, or is that something that's out of the question at this time?
You mean the orcs?
Oh yeah, we kind of have them at the ropes there. They should be willing to surrender at this point there. You suppose that they want to parlay.
I don't know if orcs do that. I really couldn't say.
Well,
I've never heard of a orc making peace talks.
But there's always that first time for everything there. Let me kind of shoot out an arrow over there, way off in the distance, and see if they'll actually come to terms with us there. Because you never know, it is what it is, though.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're gonna write sometimes, like a letter, and then shoot it off.
Yes, I will write it in common.
So you open
Monty
up.
Python style.
So you go to somewhere place dry, I assume. 'Cause it's in the
Yes.
pouring rain, and you write out this letter.
I write it inside the bag of holding, by sticking my arms in it.
You can't do that.
Why can't I? It's not
That's
stasis.
not how it works.
You said it was in stasis, therefore I could do that.
No, you can go into a building and write the thing.
Okay, fine. I'll go into a building and write it.
So you go to the building and you start writing it up and stuff like that. What do you write? What exactly does it say?
Looking to parlay. Meet one or send 2 to Northgate. And then boom.
Okay. So then you tie it up. You take it out. You don't have a bow.
I have a crossbow.
Okay. So you did it to a bolt. Okay. So the bolt
Wait, so you have a giant rifle and a crossbow?
Yes.
apparently is a crossbow.
In case I don't have a chance to reload.
Yeah. Okay, so you go out there. It's pouring rain, and you go and you just. And
I shoot it towards a man.
they're
I think I would ask
700
him-
feet out.
I think I would ask him to use the light spell first on it, so it's clearly visible
Okay, Magnus will
on the
reach out.
document itself. So it's
Magnus reaches out and says,
clearly
"Little mouse," and lights it up.
Oh yeah. And it sails over the fence and out into the out away. You climb up your little ladder, and you look it through the tree, and you see it way out there, just kind of glowing little beacon in the rain. And you sit there for 10, 15 minutes.
Doesn't look like they're coming, Luke.
You don't know because it's still out there. We can clearly see it's coming there.
Mm-hmm.
All good things come to those who wait.
Alright, well said.
Luke, you do have a thought after me up 10, 15 minutes, like, it's raining. You wrote it on paper. It's probably worthless at this point.
I'm going to write it again. This time on wax paper.
And where do you
The
have
crayon.
wax paper?
The general store, obviously.
You pull out your bag of holding?
Yeah, I have everything for the situation.
Okay.
And same thing. I notch him again and point to the letter, I
Yo,
think
you're
I
like
could do
Felix the
another
cat. That's amazing. You're like Felix. You just pull anything you need out of the bag, dude.
one. Well, it's sometimes you just kind of have the right things. You just pick it up along the way.
So, yeah, you write it up, you shoot it, the spell's lit again. You sit there waiting for 10, 15 minutes. I think, let's go, roll me a d20, Luke. Okay. 10, 15 minutes, you're about to give up, about to put the light spell out, Magnus, when, a dark figure, steps into the light, looks down and plucks, and you see, the light rising into the air a little bit, and then takes off running
Right towards what?
towards the direction of the horde, the war band.
Oh! Hey, Magnus there, and Glad, and Elle, I suppose, too, there. It looks like they took the fate there. So what's the plan?
Bait? I thought it was a plea for peace. What do you mean, bait?
Oh, no, if they're stupid enough to come up here with their leader and just their leader, you should definitely take action against that.
How do we know it will be their leader and not an ambassador?
It's all about hierarchy with them,
How much time have you spent with the orc tribes then, Luke, in your day?
You don't need to spend time with orcs to know how stupid certain species are there.
Wow, that's racist, dude.
No, it's
That's
not.
not racist.
Well, have you ever been a smart orc?
Well, no, but
Oh, now who's being racist there?
Okay, so this conversation goes on for a little while. Eventually, you guys are sitting around waiting. It's been 4 hours now. You're probably somewhere around 1 o'clock in the morning now. And you hear as an arrow drops over the wall. There's nothing lighting it up though.
Okay, go over and open this thing up.
All right, so as soon as you go to grab it, Luke, would you give me an investigation check really fast?
Investigation. Where was that roll earlier?
So you open it up and you realize that it's written on human skin.
oh,
And
Okay, what does
just
it
says-
say?
It takes a second or two to read it and figure out exactly how it's written, but it says "at dawn."
So I take it is there a fire nearby?
Oh, there's torches, but I mean it's pouring rain.
I guess I put it in my bag for now,
Okay.
because I don't know what to do with the giant pile of human flesh.
Yeah.
And I don't want to freak
It's
anyone else
tanned
out.
and everything
I'm
else.
sure
but
Magnus would like it.
It's definitely human
Yeah.
flesh.
I
Okay.
feel like when you unscroll the letter, I notice, or
Yeah.
at least watch you unscroll the letter, and at some point say,
wait, well, what does it say?
It says that dawn will be the time that we will chat. Apparently, so you think it should be all of us there, or just two of us? Because we did say two people. You think it should be the mayor, or one of us, or maybe we should just kind of build something that looks human, and just kind of have to be a bomb or something.
I don't think they're that stupid. By the way, Luke, there's something I need to tell you. Actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if you've noticed the armor armor that these orcs wear. It bears a symbol of a skull with red eyes.
Bad.
Yeah, I thought nothing of it there because they're crazy and they're orcs. So who knows what anyone else,
Well, I've
That could
seen
mean-
that. I have seen that symbol before.
Oh, do tell.
when we
I had-
when we were in Raxus's lair, that's where I spied it.
Oh, so you think Raxus is actually the leader of these orcs there?
Even though our hooded figure turned out not to be Raxus, there has to be some connection. This symbol is identical. I'm sure of it.
How funny would it be if you just kind of demanded that you had to join this little posse to end this assault there?
I want my
Yeah,
buddy
that-
Magnus.
That would be funny.
Oh, it'd be like one of those ha-ha funnies, not hee-hee funnies.
Like
you know?
like Roseanne funny?
More like, I don't know. I
Okay.
sit down and start thinking.
Okay. So,
When Luke was having his hallucination, didn't he see the bat with red eyes on the tree thingy in the back or whatever in the basement of the?
I don't think I made note of it or paid attention. Plus, I forget everything.
I'm pretty sure.
Well,
you did.
maybe now that I say that, Luke starts to remember
Maybe
that.
like jogs your memory. Luke.
Thank you,
You
Elle,
know,
for having a better
I
memory.
don't remember anything like that.
Okay, well I swear it was there.
So, what do you guys do? It sounds like the orcs are holding off the night. It's been 4 hours since their last attack, that you at least know of. There's been messenger boys here and there coming by saying all clear, basically, for you. And
So,
I turn to the rest of the group and oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
so what time is it in the morning? What time is sunrise?
it's like 1 o'clock right now. Sunrise probably somewhere around 6. You guys have been sitting here kind of for a while, not really too much. So, you might have get another short rest in technically, but a long rest at this point, unless some of you sleep in for later than the event, isn't going to really be possible.
I think I'm good on hit points, so.
Ooh, I should probably check what my hit points are.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm
And, hit
full.
dice.
If anyone is hurt significantly, I will expend the rest of my Staff of Spring Rain, which
I
is
could
full. It's full right now, so
Use
that's
9 healing points.
okay. So there you go. I have 21 left in my staff, and you take 9. I plant my staff in the ground, and I say,
Luke, sit down here. Let me patch up those wounds.
Okay.
and I like plant my staff in the ground, and a little tiny rain cloud forms above his head, and just like mists golden rain down on him.
I like
Ah,
it.
I don't like this golden shower.
I'm glad you caught that, Luke.
Magnus dies. Okay. Heart attack. That's how it works. All right. So the morning eventually comes unless someone wants to do anything before morning hits.
So I'm gonna turn to the rest of the party and say,
Look, I think maybe we should seek out Aziz, the mayor, and see how he fared so far in the battle, and let him know about our parlay with the orcs.
You
See
know, I
what
think
he
that's
might-
a brilliant idea. I
See what
think,
he thinks about
I
it.
think you and Elle are probably the fastest there. So me and Glad here will go. We'll watch the gate while you go chat. In case something happens,
Okay, Elle, shall we?
Sure.
Luke Glod go to the north gate, and Magnus and Elle go looking for Aziz. Okay, so it takes you a little bit of time to find him, Magnus and Elle. I think you kind of wander around, not sure, and then you eventually spy one of like the little like newsboys that are running around, kind of passing along information, and they point you in the right direction.
Okay.
It's probably maybe like 20 minutes later or so. When you come upon Aziz walking hastily from the southern gate towards his manor, it seems, or towards his his home.
Aziz, excuse me, over here.
Yeah. Is it urgent? I have something I must attend to.
Yes, I would say yes, somewhat.
Okay.
I just need your ear for a moment of time.
All right. What is it?
Well,
No, like I like pull him to the side. I'm assuming like under the overhang of a building, maybe
Sure.
out of the rain a little
Yeah.
bit.
pouring down right on next to you.
And like, I like pant for a second. I'm like,
Well, we've sent a message over the wall tied to an arrow. The orcs wish to parley at dawn at the gate. Compatriot thinks we might set a trap for them. I'm not sure how to proceed. We wanted your input.
With the north gate. Parlay, so we can rest tonight. That's good. Good. We can use some sleep, at least a little bit of sleep.
I don't know if we should trust them and take the night to rest. It may be a trick.
Our men need sleep. We can't. It'll be worthless tomorrow if we don't let them. We'll keep some on watch, as we had planned. But we need to rest.
Okay. I mean,
But
well,
a
will you
trap.
be at the parlay or?
Was I part of this deal?
Well, if we actually wish to parlay with them, the Shadowguard shan't be speaking on behalf of Ostwald. You would need to be there to do that.
Make a valid point. Yes. Will you be there also?
Oh, we will be there waiting. And we will provide defense if that's what you need.
Yes.
But
More
I
than
don't know.
likely.
Do you think a trap a prudent idea? We could just set a trap instead.
No. If we've already had you set the trap before you sent the note, then it may have worked. They have people watching, I have no doubt. Trap would just
Elle.
mean they attack us tonight instead of in the morning, if we do not agree.
Okay, well. Guess we'll deliver the message to our friends. We'll be waiting for you at the gate.
I will be there. No, I must go. I must head to my home. Apparently there's been a break-in.
Okay.
He kind of like shuffles off hurriedly. Little bronze tail whirling in the rain. Elle, did you want anything to say to him before he like walked away or anything like that?
Nope, I'm just tagging along.
Okay. I'll tag him along.
just my bodyguard.
Oh, don't lag out of me, motherfucker.
Okay. So, Magnus, Elle, Glad, you all meet back up at the north gate.
Wait, where am I?
You're there too. I figured you were still
Okay.
lagged out, so. But you all meet back up at the north gate. Glad and Luke, you're already there. There's less people there than there were before Glad. There hasn't been any attacks. They kind of informed you what's happening. Just people are going to rest. They're exhausted. They're tired. They need to sleep. So they're getting as much as they can before anything else happens. And yeah, Luke, Elle, you guys kind of come walking up.
Oh, hey, how'd your meeting go?
Well, he thinks we should not set a trap, and I think I might agree with him, Luke. We actually should maybe parlay, but he said he would come speak on behalf of the city. We just need to be there for protection.
You know, we never said that we had to be only two of us there, so we can have as many as we like, against whatever size force they're going to bring,
Well, we'll be here for sure, and we'll be ready in case they set a trap or things go south.
So, how much experience do you have there with communications? Or, not communications, but negotiations. You ever worked as a merchant there before?
Who are you asking? Oh.
I'm asking the man that disconnected. Have you ever worked as a merchant before?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No, never.
Ellie, have you ever worked there as a merchant before?
Define merchant.
Well, getting the best price in deals, and being a master negotiator.
I would say I've had some experience in that area.
Okay, well then it's still of all three of us, you're the one that's most qualified to go talk to the orcs there.
And Glad's just sitting in the corner, sad, not even asked.
Very much so.
Continue, Al. Oh, you were gonna say something.
Seem to be the one that gets nominated the most in these situations.
Well, you're obviously, the best chatting at people. Have you ever heard me talk to somebody,
You're the only one we can trust to not screw it up, to be honest.
I'll
Well,
take offense to that.
Well, to be fair, Claude, I wasn't talking about you. I just don't know you as well. That's all.
My heart
to be
is
fair, I won't screw it up, I'll just make it worse. There's a big difference.
Oh, okay, well, that's what I meant, regardless.
Okay.
Stare at him,
So
wincing hard.
Elle will be the one to. So are you? So the other three of you, are you guys gonna be staying back? Or are you gonna be like walking up with Aziz and Elle, or is it gonna be like just Aziz and Elle, and then you guys are
Covering
kind
them
of
from a
covering them
distance?
from like the walls
Sure, yeah, that's the
to
one.
the gate?
I'd definitely be on the wall with my bow.
Okay. Magnus, where are you gonna be at?
I'm gonna be near the gate, I'm sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I think maybe I'll move my ladder over there. I don't know, it's huge. So I guess I'll ask Elle.
Elle, do you mind helping me? And Claude, actually. Perfect. You're both big and strong. Can you help me move this ladder closer to the gate?
Is there a spot maybe where I could prop it up on a
You
tree
could
near the
probably
gate?
prop
or-
it up on the gate itself, or on the wall itself, right next to the gate.
Yeah, or even a house, like set back a little bit. Anything
makes-
is fine.
Let's see what we got here. Gotta switch my camera view over. No, there's not really.
Yeah, there isn't there? Okay, well, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna prop it up, 20 feet down the wall from the gate, so I have a nice little view. And I'm gonna stay, down 10 feet or so, 5 feet or so until.
On my
Where?
map, I actually have
Where are we on the map?
there is a couple close gates, or a couple close houses near the gate.
So,
So
can
you could
ping
potentially
the
go up
map
on top
where
of a
we are?
roof.
Aaron,
What?
can you ping on the map where we are?
Swap back. You're at the very north gate,
Okay. Do you want to move our party?
but there are buildings and stuff over there. Yeah, I'll move that in a second. Okay.
Okay, they're not on the map, but it's just a rough representation, right?
Yes,
I mean,
exactly. Okay, so morning comes. Rosy fingers. As I guess you all kind of get up from a light nap. Rested a little bit, still tired. The storm has not subsided. It is still going just as strong as it had been. When you see kind of off the distance, I think Elle, you see it first. You see two orcs riding wargs with a white flag. One carrying a white flag riding up towards. They're 700 feet out. They're like just coming out of the war band. As Aziz comes walking up to the group and goes, "Well, I'm here," and he's dressed all fastly. "We're going to die. We're going to look good while doing it. So, will you all be coming out with us, or who?"
No, we're gonna give you some cover. You're here with the pretty lady, dear.
No, I have the women at my side. Couldn't ask for too much more.
Oh god.
Shall we? As he puts his arm out, for you to wrap your arm in his, and you walk out.
What? Just a quick minute to talk with my people.
Not a problem. I'll be right over there. He kind of skirts out.
So I was elected to do this, but Magnus, you're good with words. What the hell do I suggest?
I wish I had a good answer for you, Elle. I don't know. It's hard to know without knowing what the orcs want. I don't think there's much else they want than conquest. I don't know. Offer them gold. We have gold. I'm willing to pay.
If they ask an amount?
I can part with maybe 300 crowns. I don't know what the rest of you could give in defense of the town. I'd be willing to part with 300 crowns.
As would I.
Okay, well that's something. That's probably as much money as this entire town. Well, I don't know, actually. Ostwald is quite a nice place, but... I just saved... Keep that in your back pocket as a last-ditch effort.
Well, I'll try my best then.
You can do this. You got it.
So you go walking up to Aziz.
Please tell me they put a table out there, Aaron.
No,
Table with 4 chairs.
no, there's no table. And there's no chairs. We have Magnus up on the roof, just past the gate or inside the gate. Vlad, you're sitting up on like a little like, kind of like I don't actually know what it's called, but basically a little ladder going up and it's right at the gate, so you can shoot over it.
Yeah.
And then Luke, you can either be sharing up there with Vlad or you can be down on the ground. Where are you at?
What gives me straight line coverage of vision? Best vision.
Probably where Glad's at.
I will be right next to Glad,
Alright, so you're both
trying
kind
to
of
take over his ladder.
Well, it's not just a ladder. It's like it's a little platform. A couple
got
people
it.
can stay on.
Gotcha.
Let's see if you can get 500 more.
And then
Wait till you're lazy dare.
we are going to take a quick 5-minute break, guys, and then we will see how this parlay goes. So stay tuned. We will be back very, very shortly. We are back, and I didn't completely mess it up. Professional. It's cool to be jealous. So we're parlaying with 2 orcs on wargs, a bronze dragonborn, and an Elle. So
The orcs are riding wargs.
yes, they're riding wargs towards the thing. They have a little white flag, so they come riding in as
Orcs
Elle.
ride cave bears too, man. It's not the only thing they ride. Sorry, go ahead.
It's fine. So they come, walking out. You meet right about roughly at the crossroads, Elle, about 30, 40 feet out. They show no fear, coming as close to you as they feel you need. We see Luke and Glod sitting with their bow and gun at the ready. Magnus just in the background above them, on the top of a roof. Aziz shaking a little bit, but still quite confident, as he has Elle, like arm in arm. As you come to a stop at the crossroads, and the wargs come running up. These orcs are a little bit bigger, Elle, than the ones that you've been killing. They have a few different tattoos on them, and their wargs themselves are much bigger than the ones that you killed on the road in days prior. They hop off. They come to a stop, not too far, maybe about 10, 15 feet in front of you. Hop off their wargs and come walking towards you. Still with that same sigil of the black bat with the red eyes. And they just kind of come up, walk up to you, and go, "We here. You want to parlay.
You cut out.
You want to parlay."
Yeah. Actually, you're correct.
What you give? Aziz kind of looks up. Will we have extra food if that is what you require? Livestock. I would rather not give slaves. I'd rather keep my people safe and secure. What else could you want from a town like this? And he kind of looks and goes, "We take those. And we want book. You give book. We leave."
Book?
Yes. Funny writing in it.
Funny. Right. Oh, what does the book look like? On the outside?
You kind of look at the other one. They look at each other. Oh. A book.
Oh, I'm so glad she's doing with this shit.
Funny
Could
writing. Things come out. Very powerful. We want
Things
book.
come out of.
Would she have seen me with Rax's spell book at any point? I don't feel like I would have tried to hide it.
Yeah, I couldn't see why not.
It's a pretty ugly looking book, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty ugly looking book. Let's see. Rex's book. I actually have a picture of it. It's in your
Is
magic
that what we're
items.
giving up now? Is that what they want?
Rex's
It's fine. I
book
already got all the spells out of it.
has, it's stitched together. It's got like almost a mouth in one corner. There's a green glowing rune on the top of it. It's very old and very ancient. But
Could
That's
I-
funny. That's funny because the spells inside of it were Bobo.
yeah.
No, I'm
that's-
just kidding. They're
well, and Aziz looks at, I don't know what book they want.
Could I describe the book that you just described to them?
Yeah. Look at you and go, just give all books. We find.
Or, but, if you find
All
the book
books.
you want. But if you find the book you want, could you leave the rest of the book?
no.
You're going to take all of the town's books.
Good firewood. Fire starter.
Oh, we already burned out the books now.
Lodge sure did.
Books, food, livestock. We leave you. For now.
Aziz, are you okay with all of your books disappearing?
Absolutely not. I like my books. They're
well,
useful.
I mean, I'm sure there are replacements somewhere, but
Some of them
you
are
know,
one of a
they're-
kind. No, this is
Well,
unacceptable.
like tax documents, like patents, all this other shit that like he can't afford
If
to
you
get
can
rid of.
describe the one book you need, we will get you that book. Otherwise, no deal.
What if we just sort through them and find all the ones with funny writing?
Is it a Garfield comic?
Persuasion.
Funny writing. I was
So
thinking
try
more
to
like fan
persuade
fiction, or it's funny.
the
poorly written.
Aziz. He looks at you and goes, "You can find all the books, you and your group, and we'll defend our walls from these orcs. I'm not giving up my books."
Time for the orc. Can we have a little bit of time to get the books around?
You have till sun high in sky.
Dude.
All right. I thank you.
Otherwise, we come. We kill all. We find book.
All right.
Goodbye.
I
And they just kind of get back. They like turn your back. Don't even like listen to the next thing you say. And get on their wargs and ride off.
rude things they are.
They are very rude. They want to destroy our books. They will not get mine. Well, we must prepare. The battle will rage on. I will not help you collect in this. No. He continues to walk.
We could just collect them on our own, and you could do whatever it is that you do.
Leave my books alone.
Do you really want to put all your people in danger for a book?
Roll me an insight check.
Oh!
So he responds and he goes, "I would not endanger my people for my books, but giving them will not stop this. It's obvious they're just doing just to destroy more of our work, our heritage, our history. I will not give them such a thing." And then he storms off. And from what you can tell, you can't tell if he's lying or telling the truth, but you kind of feel like that's probably what he said.
Everyone around here is just so rude. As I
Storms off.
march back to the group.
So, group, I'm assuming Elle fills you in.
Before she does that, I'd like to ask her, "Oh, did you get their, unconditional surrender?"
Not sure I would call it that.
So no, we're kind of up a creek here with a battle there.
We slightly negotiated / postponed the battle, maybe?
You kind of don't sound very, Magnus, what's the word I'm looking for there?
Certain?
Yeah, that.
Well, it's just a tricky situation, see.
What do they want, Elle?
They said they want a book.
Okay.
Funny writing in it.
Well, that's kind of a complicated question there. What do they mean by funny writing?
Well,
Is it
you
like a
see,
picture book there with some like silly people, or is it kind of like poorly written, or
If I
is it
knew
like
what funny writing was, I think I would relay that.
well, did you ask any more questions there, or did you just kind of let them have the run of the show?
There's not much I can do when they have armies of orcs. be
So-
outside.
Elle, I mean, it could be Raxus's spell book. I don't mind handing it over to them. It's just a fairly mundane spell book aside from its physical appearance.
Any books they get, they will destroy if it's not the right book. So I suggest that you get everything you need out of it.
Well, you know, quick question. Let me interrupt you there. Did you get any hint to what where the book could possibly be? Did you hear anything or see anything of that nature, which might lead us to the location of this book? Because it's kind of a big town.
They didn't specify. All I know is that the mayor doesn't want his books touched. So that's
So obviously, if the guy doesn't want it touched, it's obviously where we need to go. Okay.
I mean, that's a possibility, or he just... They did say they would destroy.
So
all
you
the
go
books.
talk to that guy there.
They're
Keep
just
him
books.
busy, and we'll just go steal all his books and call it a day.
To be fair, Elle is the sneaky one.
Yeah, but she's obviously the most charming, to a giant, male dragon half-born.
Well, she had her chance to get the books from him. You let me talk to him. Elle, maybe you should give his hut a visit.
Oh! I actually have something perfect for this situation there. Wait, do we need him out of the town for a while, or what?
I mean, out of the town for a while.
How are we gonna get him out of the town?
More like not being able to do anything there, or I don't know.
Out
Yeah,
of
just
commission.
Night.
Distracted. Indisposed.
Yes.
Can I ask a GM a question?
Sure.
Would it be in my best interest to sleep him?
I don't know how I could answer that one for you.
Like, would it come back to would Luke feel that that's not the best decision given our current circumstance?
I mean, I think that's more a decision on Luke than it is.
Like, how tense is everything in the air to?
I mean, everything's kind of a slight lull at the moment because of what's happening. But I mean, if things pick up, it could be. I mean, when you were where God was at and where you were at, you guys didn't see the mayor at any point in time, so you don't really know if he's out there fighting or if he's out there hiding somewhere. So in this situation, you're not. It's really up to what Luke thinks it could or could not happen. Will it affect your relationship? Probably a little bit, but you have a good standing relationship in the town already from giving away weapons and offering your assistance. So
Look, if it turns out to be something really bad, you just expose him anyway, and then you're fine. Then you're a hero. Out of character. Magnus would
All right.
suggest it.
I think I got this covered there. Don't worry about it. I'll go talk to him. You guys go do the, caper or whatever you want to call it there. So, wish me luck there. Take
Elle,
it out of my bag.
Elle, how do you feel about a little subterfuge? Do you mind being a sneak thief for me?
I suppose it's probably the best for the safety of the town if he happens to have it.
If there's nothing important, we'll just leave the books. It's fine. But if something looks like it's the book they're talking about, you take it. All right, and Luke, you sure you can distract him?
before you go, Luke, one thing your
Stretching.
character would remember is you had detect magic on when you first went into the mayor's office. And all the books that were like on the walls and stuff, you did not detect anything magical on any of those books. I will just remind you of that, because you would remind you.
Wait, when I did my investigation, shouldn't I have had a
Not there that
advantage
time.
then?
No, that was no. You could see if there was something magical. It doesn't mean you could see. There's only certain things you cannot see through. But in addition, there could be no magical things in it at the same time.
Okay,
But
fair enough.
yeah, I'm just saying that you didn't see anything magical. At least book. There was no glowing book on his like bookshelf. or
I
anything
don't.
like that.
I don't think. I made that decision without knowing that information to begin with, so I'm going to stick with my decision.
I was more that you could share that information with Elle.
I'm going to share the information with Elle. It was probably something in the drawer.
Was the drawer locked?
Not when I found it the first time. It might be locked now, though. Who knows?
Okay. So, Luke, yeah, you stretch really fast, touch your toes, and then you guys watch him like scurry off towards Aziz. He's still walking by the time you get to him.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
So-
you catch him.
So, hey, Aziz there. Are you ready for this upcoming battle there?
Uh, I guess. We could really ever
You
be
know-
ready for something such.
It's customary for traditions among halflings there to share. When we go and do battle, it's customary to share some, a dish with one another. So I have brought us here some pudding for the upcoming glory of our battle. I crack it open and hand it to him. I
Was it?
eat mine. Oh,
Wait, it's pudding?
It's
It's pudding.
It's his pudding. It's
You have a
his-
sleep. You have a sleep pudding?
He has a single sleep pudding.
Does it work like a sleep spell?
Basically, it'll knock him out. No, in a sense, it's more of a save. So it's a
Okay.
con save, and if not, he falls asleep.
it's a really, really high save.
Yes, it was a very good. His save was based off, I think, the roll he made, which was ridiculous.
You gave him poisoned elven pudding.
He made it. He's an alchemist tools.
It was.
I originally
For
made
when-
it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I
I
was
was
in the
gonna
middle of PA and drug you, and you didn't want it.
You were gonna drug me like a cat?
Yeah, then we're gonna take you up to the rats.
Yeah. Okay. So he takes it anyway. It's good. Is it?
Oh yeah, it's a
Killer now,
secret
huh?
family recipe, huh?
Is this like a specialty brew type? Just keeps eating it. This is
Uh,
delicious.
it's actually I'm kind of one of the heirs to the family, so I kind of know a couple of the secret. And I go on talking with him about useless, like pudding bullshit until he
you
falls
keep
asleep.
walking, and he starts to slow down. Like, oh, I feel a little dizzy. And he
Well,
goes-
sit down. Sometimes people have a bad reaction to some of the
and
special ingredients in there.
he,
Like sugar cane and a little bit of that flour there.
before you get through flour, he
See anyone around?
breathes out, a little bit of puff of like fire breath comes out.
Anybody around?
At the moment where you're looking, perception check. You're looking around to see, so
Perception.
nobody can see.
Awesome. I'm gonna start looting through his things.
Correct. All right, so Luke starts looting through his things. You find typical things you would find in a mayor. You find like a quill, a little bottle of ink.
Steal that. Steal the quill.
Of course you do. He has on like his nice fancy clothing, so he doesn't have too much else on. He has a coin pouch on him. I don't know if you just take it or
How much is in the coin pouch?
a rough weight, somewhere probably around like 25 gold or so.
Alright, I take 5 gold.
Alright, so you chink a little bit of gold there.
Yep.
And there's not too much else. He was kind of prepared to go there. You do find like a
Is there any books?
hide like armor. No, there's no books. He doesn't have like anything on him. He was going out to parlay with these people, so he doesn't really have too much on him. Other than like the quill and the ink to do some kind of written letter type thing. A little bit of gold is needed, as a kind of here, hold this and we'll get you the rest or whatever they were going to ask for.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, he had that type of stuff.
Okay, so shoot, what are we gonna do? Is there any place I can
I
stash
mean, I
him?
guess you find his keys. Like
I take his keys.
He has like a small little key ring.
I'm gonna take his key ring.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back and do some more investigating in the desk to see if I forgot something.
Alright. So
After I stash him someplace.
okay, so you go to try to find this place to
Thing.
stash him. Go and give me a stealth roll and see how well you stash him, and then we'll see how long that also takes you based off that roll. Okay. So
I dump him into a barrel.
we kind of fade out as we see Luke like
The
grab him by
barrel
the
over.
shoulders down on the bench, and he starts like to pull him up, and just fades out. And we fade back in at Elle. You are at the mayor's manor house. Can you give me? I'm assuming you're doing it stealthy. So can you give me a stealth roll just to start it out and see how it goes? Okay. So you kind of. Okay. So what do you first do? You're kind of sneaking up to the house, kind of looking around. You don't really see anybody around right now. What is the first thing you do?
I take the lockpick out of my glove.
The lockpick out of your glove. Okay. Yeah, you go reach for the door and you jiggle it and it's locked. Go ahead and give me thieves' tools. Let's see the lock.
I wish I had a knock spell or invisibility real bad right now, but I don't. Good job though. Good roll.
Yeah, it unlocks. It takes you a matter of seconds to do it. Really simple lock, very easy. As you open the first door and you open it, as it creaks open a little bit, making a little bit of noise. You kind of look around. You don't hear anything. You go inside, or what do you do?
Sure.
Take your first step inside. There's no alarm spell, nothing like that. You're in the first room, kind of like and it's the entryway. There's a potted plant in one corner. There's a couple bookshelves right on the other two sides, and a window.
Hey, real quick, is the mayor's house the same as his office? Okay.
Investigation?
Okay, what are you investigating? Like, what are you doing?
Looking at the bookshelf.
Yeah, go
The
and roll
most
me
obvious place first.
a book.
A book.
Okay, go and roll me investigation. Okay.
Yes.
So you spend about 5 minutes, like kind of sifting through the books, opening up, looking. If you open them up to see if there's like anything inside them, anything hidden. You don't find anything, and then the last one, you're like, you throw it backwards, and you hear the noise, and you hear someone go, "What was that?" And you start to hear footsteps coming from inside towards your direction. What do you do?
What is there around me?
There is a potted plant, the door behind you, a window that is closed, and 2 bookshelves.
And
No,
where did
well-
I hear this coming from?
From further inside of the house. It's even closer.
As... Huh. Would
do you
I know if I would be able to make it to the door or not?
You're right next to it.
Ah.
It's like 5 feet from you.
I mean, my first instinct would be to hide behind the potted plant. Because but I feel like going out the
Do
door
your first instinct.
would be
Yeah.
a smarter second thought.
So you
Really?
go out
They
the
are.
door, or do you go behind the potted plant?
Behind the plant.
5.
The door.
Okay. I was gonna count down, and then that was it. So you go, you get behind the potted plant really fast, and the footsteps are coming. You're like, this is stupid. And you go running out the door, and you close it. You just barely close it, and it makes a slight noise. You hear the, as then you run. Well, where do you go actually? To be more correct.
Well, I'm standing around the corner of the house. I'm assuming waiting.
Okay, if you're waiting, yeah.
When I hear her come out the door, I poke my head around the corner. You just see my top hat poke out around the corner of the building in the rain, and my little wonky eye pops out. I'm like,
Elle, over here. Just come here. Did you find it? What happened?
I was working on finding it, and I may have made a noise, and somebody in the house noticed,
someone-
and I...
There's someone in there.
As you hear that, you hear the door open.
oop, I'm gonna definitely peek further back around the alleyway, but
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna see you
then
both-
and then I'm gonna say,
Elle, try and peek around the corner, see who's leaving.
So yeah, someone you hear a couple footsteps and they stop, and then you go to peer around.
Yeah. Peek, peek,
Okay.
peek.
Go ahead and give me another stealth roll.
Oh, man.
this is what
I
you're
mean, you
good
want
at.
to keep the 9, you can keep the 9.
No, go ahead. Yes,
There we go.
you are rolling like a fucking badass.
So you kind of peer around the corner as you see a guard with a long sword and a shield, looking to his right as you're on his left. And then he turns to look this way, and he does. There's nothing there as you poke your head back around behind the building.
What is it? Who is it?
He closes. You hear the door close.
Just a guard.
Oh, wonderful. We'll wait for him to leave and possibly try again.
Well, the mayor did mention that there was a break-in before, so the guard may not be leaving.
Well, he's leaving, it seems like, right?
He went
Is
back
he-
in, didn't he?
You heard the door close, but you didn't hear any like footsteps or anything like that. You peek
I'm gonna
back
try
around.
and climb on a barrel or a box in the alleyway and peek in a window.
Elle, help me up. Let me look in a window.
I
You
really
pick me
want to
up
make her
like
do
a
an
baby.
athletics check, but it's fine. It just to be funny. Yeah,
I'm child sized.
Yeah, so you grab him, you hold him up by his butt. As you look in, you're looking in the same window that Elle was just like searching through. So you see like books on the ground, like the one book on the ground, and you don't see any guard or anything like that.
Can I poke my head around the corner and see if he is gone or walked further down the street?
You want to roll me a stealth check?
Does that mean he's still there?
Does it?
No, you'll never know until you roll, buddy.
And you can always have Elle check for you. You're that scared.
Ah!
This is what I live for. Low
So-
roll.
Yeah, so Magnus, your head starts to pop out, and if you if you would have taken your hat off, it probably would have worked, but because your hat's so long, and it's like Elle is like it's just like this much. You in this case, like you like peer over, and the hat goes all the way out, and you're like, and you see him, and he's looking down at you as your hat like kind of falls off. And he's like, Magnus.
Hello, sir. Yes. What was your name again?
The name's Chris.
Chris. Right.
Chris the guard.
I was just looking for Aziz. Have you seen him?
No, not as of yet. I thought he returned. Was there word of the parlay? How did it go? Or is it still going on? Is that why he's not returned yet?
I don't know. I know it's over. That's why I was looking for him. It was in regards to the parlay. Could you go find him for me? I would really appreciate it. In fact, I could even throw you a gold for the trouble. We have more pressing matters. at hand.
I would, but me and another have been tasked with keeping guard of his home as there was a break-in last night. Actually, your friend Luke, I believe, is the one that tasked us with this. Keep an eye on this place in case the thief comes back.
Oh, yes, I spoke to Luke, and he did tell me that, but he said that they needed you at the wall now, and I believe Aziz said the same thing before we left.
Give me a persuasion check.
Not a deception?
Deception could work also. That's fine. Either one.
What am I better at? Neither.
I hope it's low.
You got your wish.
Two. Okay, so he looks and goes, I'm sure if they needed more than me at the wall, more than would come and ask. I must stay here. I must keep an eye on. This is the more important task right now. So,
Yeah.
but you are
He
more than
was-
welcome to stay. Are you gonna come around the corner, Elle?
Yeah, I didn't know. Wait, I thought we were at the window.
No,
No,
he's
like, I
he
poked my
peeked
head around the corner.
So you're like up against the wall. Magnus is just kind of talking to the guard, and Magnus is like here, and the guards are around the corner. So you're like hidden like behind around the corner still.
Like, couldn't help but overhear on my way over. Magnus seems to have been mistaken. He was just suggesting that you go to the wall. It was actually Luke that sent us over here to take your shift.
Give me a deception.
You cunning individual, you. I don't know why you should have walked past it. Like, good, we're here to investigate.
Yes.
He looks and goes, "Oh, why didn't you say so?" I mean, you can understand the confusion. Sure, give me a minute. I'll go grab the other guy. And we'll head off. All right. So he walks inside. Very nicely done.
I like turn and give Elle like a little like quick high five behind his back, and then we both like walk in behind him.
Yeah. So yeah, you go in. Both the guards look and go. I'm sure Aziz will be happy to hear that you are keeping watch on his things. It'll be more secure. All right. Wish you luck.
Thank you. The Shadow God appreciates your efforts. Go do as you must.
We will. They head off as you guys now have free reign of the mayor's house.
Do I come across these guards on my way back there?
Possibly. But let's go ahead and let's see what Magnus and Elle are doing, because they still have some time to like start searching before you would run into them or arrive. So there is, like I said, there's the kind of entryway, and then you come in, and to the left is your next room, which has a couple chairs and like a small table, flower pots on the sides of the windows, and that there's 2 more windows there. And then it leads up a little, like 3-foot little, not even 3 foot, probably like 2-foot little like staircase to like a raised first floor, which is you recognize Magnus as like Aziz's like main office. It's very long, almost the length of the back part of his manor. It's really just a really big house thing, manor. And then his desk sits there on like a rug.
Okay.
There's bookshelves kind of lining the walls.
I'll take the bookshelves. Why don't you check the desk?
All right.
Make sure there's no traps.
Ah. Right.
Okay. Magnus, why don't you give me an investigation check, and Elle, go and give me a perception check for trap stuff. Okay. Elle, you kind of like start peeking around the actually. Yeah, I'll go through this. I want to find what Glod's doing, because he's been kind of just sitting there hanging out.
Yeah.
So, Elle, you kind of go peeking around the desk itself. You don't find any traps or anything like that. You do find one locked drawer. And Magnus, I mean, you're just starting looking through the books. What you've gone through so far, you don't really find anything of interest, or anything that like at least piques your curiosity. So, Elle, why don't you give me one more investigation check, and then we'll see what Glod's doing. Okay. Elle, as you're looking through, you had the locked drawer, and you're getting ready to unlock it when you kind of bend down to do it. You see a small little indent on the inner part of the desk, on the inside, like where his right leg would be. What do you do?
Feel the indent.
You feel the indent, and you feel it, and it feels like it can be pushed in.
Boop.
Alright, you push, and it doesn't seem to, like, it seems to get stuck.
Look around for a button or switch of some sort? Question mark?
Okay. Yeah, you look around for like a button or switch on the rest of it, and you don't really find anything else. It's just like you press it. It seems to be almost in correlation with the same drawer that's locked. Is around the same area as that button.
So press the button.
You try pressing the button and get stuck.
What?
While Elle thinks on that, Glod, what have you been doing?
So, when I found out that I wouldn't be needing to use my bow this morning,
Disappointed, I know.
I headed to the nearest tavern with some of my fellow companions from the wall. And we've
Okay.
been drinking and swapping stories. Because either we're gonna fight or we're not. It doesn't make much difference to me.
Okay.
Don't mind the buckets of flammable oil lining the balcony.
I accidentally drank one.
They are definitely not at that one. They are more than likely at the Sleeping Chalice is where they are more than likely at. Actually, no, they are at the Sleeping Wench. I lied. Since the Chalice is at the southern gate, and they were at the north gate. Yeah, there is a bucket. Yeah, there's a bunch of buckets on the balcony. You don't understand why, Glod, but they're there for some weird reason. Yeah, but you go in there. There's no the barkeep's not there. Are you still paying for like the drinks and like leaving them on the counter, or are you just kind of just having your fill and not caring?
I'm just having my fill and not caring. I feel we've done enough for this city to warrant.
I think a few of them are a little
Free drink.
squeamish about that, especially the peasants themselves. The commoners are kind of like, well, I don't really know if we should be doing this, but then like you start doing it, and one of the guards, who are literally they're the Greylaws. They are like
Yeah.
the police of the town. and they're like, fuck it. They grab one too. So that everybody kind of chips in and grabs, and everybody starts having like a nice fun party. You hear a few different stories. One about the warrior who decided to challenge another, basically a constable, trial by combat for one of his friends, and was destroying him until that one point when that constable finally started to play for real and just wiped the floor with him in one swing. It's good little random stories and all sorts of little fun stuff that happens with you. And you kind of just do that for kind of the morning?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Gotta make a friend with the people.
Okay. And then I think we fade out on like a bunch of stories, laughter and cheer. Kind of something that hasn't really happened in the town for the last day or two. When Luke, we see you as you see two guards kind of, as you see two guards walking up the road, and they went away. Sir Luke?
Hey there.
Hey.
I gotta tell you, I think that, this whole night of battle that, kind of knocked Aziz out. He's down the road. He kind of passed out there in the ditch, or somewhere. Go make sure he's okay there, and make sure that he's brought to the front to instill that courage that we're gonna need when we solve this problem here.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I need a status report there.
They're already going.
Guys there?
Your friends replaced us like you asked.
Oh, yeah. Thank goodness, they're good for something.
Sure. And we'll go check on him. Stay safe, sir.
Thanks. You too. It's like
It's the most awkward conversation ever.
Well, I was saying it in passing while running.
Yeah. Well, that was a little bit more than a passing run at that point. You're kind of like jogging in place at one point, then apparently. As you continue to run on, Luke, would you give me a perception check?
Perception rowdy.
13. Okay. Luke, as you turn a corner, you come face to face with a skeleton that is rising up from the dirt. Like it starts to reach for your leg as you get a chance to jump back really fast.
I blast it.
Give me a range attack with a disadvantage actually, since it's prone and it's right in front of you. A 12 misses, so you shoot. A blast like the barrel next to it, water just pours over, and now it's muddy ground. It starts to get up, just covered in mud. Gets up. You see
I combat roll backwards, reloading, and trying to fire again.
All right, he gets up as you reload, and he's gonna make a swing at you with
I'm reloading while tumbling.
He gets his move. You get your first one. He gets his. He pulls out a sword from the ground as he gets up and swings at you as you try to tumble backwards, and it cuts on your back. As you take, actually, technically stabs through you as it cuts into your side, and you take 6 damage. And then
oh shit! You said it's a skeleton?
The skeleton, yes.
Is it resistant to piercing? Would I be aware of this?
Give me a history.
Can okay?
You don't know.
With a 10?
You don't know.
With a 10?
The answer is you don't know.
It's gotta be common knowledge.
Do not know.
Alright, whatever. Fuck it. I'm gonna run past it.
Alright, well, as soon as you stop and it swings and you get out of range, you see it and it starts just attacking the wall with the sword. It's not paying attention to you as soon as you got out of melee range with it.
Okay, I'm going to just step back about maybe 25 feet from it. Just kind of observe it for a minute or two.
Okay. What are you trying to observe on it? What are you trying to figure out?
Just what it's doing.
It literally is just taking it and it's just hacking back and forth at the wall.
Is it a particular wall attacking it?
It's the closest wall to him.
Like the wall of a building?
The wall of a building.
I'd like to improvise a weapon of a lasso.
Okay. Do you have rope?
Obviously, I have a general store. So yes, I do have rope.
Okay. So, so you improvise a lasso. I'm not going to make you roll for that. And then you throw it onto him?
Huh, yes.
Okay, and then what? You just start pulling towards
I'm going to pull it over 2 feet. I'm going to pull it closer to me slowly. and see if it's just hacking into this wall or if it's going for a very specific
and then
spot.
it stops swinging for a second, and then you slowly see it start to turn around towards you, and you just watch it swing and cut the rope and then it just kind of stands there and starts to slowly kind of wander.
Weird.
Mhm.
I think this, I think Magnus would like to see this. And I go look for Magnus.
Okay. As you continue towards Aziz's house, you spy another 2 or 3 of these creatures, kind of around the town, attacking random things.
Huh. He would love this, I think to myself, as I keep running towards Magnus.
Okay. Magnus and Elle. So Elle, you kind of been pondering what to do on this desk. What are you gonna do? There's a button that you have that's on the inside of the desk, like on the inside like where the feet would be, and there's a locked drawer on the right side of it, so like on the actual desk like face. And when you try to press it, it gets stuck. What do you do?
Get it unstuck.
Okay. How do you plan? Do you ask Magnus for help, or do you
Yes.
just? Okay.
Can you describe it?
Sure. So-
Yeah, let me have a look, Jazzy.
So imagine you're sitting at your desk right in front of you. On both sides, you have drawers. There's 3 of them. There's a big one at the bottom and 2 normal, average sized ones
Right.
above. In the middle one, on the inside, like where your knee would be, there's a little button, like a little indent that you can try to press in. When you can press it in a little bit, and then it doesn't go any further, and nothing happens. The middle drawer is locked.
Is perhaps there's something in the lower drawer blocking the button from being pressed? The lower drawer is unlocked, yes? Elle?
We're gonna need to repeat the question.
Check the lower drawer, see if something's blocking the button from being pushed in. From the inside.
Right. Yeah. How do I do?
Pull it out. Just do you throw it out, or you just kind of gently pull it out and just set it on down?
I'll set it down. Not a heathen.
I'm gonna look inside the little compartment where the drawer went, see if
Try again. Push the button again now.
Okay. You push the button in as Magnus is looking inside, and Magnus, you get hit in the face as the bottom compartment below the desk comes up and smacks you in the face as it opens up.
like a trapdoor
Yes.
flips up in my face.
Ow! Ow! Well, ow! Shit. Well, at least we found it.
It was hard. As you grab the piece to pull it out, it's about an inch thick of metal.
Underneath the floorboard there?
That was underneath the floorboard, and as you look inside, you see a book. Same thing. It's like a little hidden safe, surrounded in metal, which is the same reason why Luke could not see it when he was using his detect magic, because detect magic can't see through an inch of metal.
Well, well, well. Look what we have here.
Magnus pulls a hanky out of his pocket, drops it down on the book and picks it up with the hanky. He's
Would you look at that?
and I'm gonna set it on top of the desk.
Okay.
And examine the cover and see if I recognize the book or any writing that might be on the cover.
Okay.
What's it look like?
The book itself, I don't think you ever recognized it. But as you kind of, you see, it's the same kind of idea. It's made of human flesh. It's been tanned and all that type of stuff. It's got stitch marks all through it. You can see the scar from someone had at some point in time before it was turned into this book. There's no face, nothing like that. And there is one little slit at the top that just seems to be kind of pinched closed on the cover, the face of the cover.
That's part of the skin.
Yeah.
Is an actual face on there?
No, there's no face.
Okay.
No face.
That's interesting. Possibly.
Does it look like a closed eyeball or something like that?
Give me a. I mean, look at it. No, it does not. That'd be something you probably could tell.
Do you think we should? Do you think we should open it, Elle? I don't know.
We should see if it has funny writing, maybe.
Let me investigate it. I don't know. I feel like possibly Luke should use his skills of detecting magic before we open it. It could be warded. Many wizards cast warding spells on their books. I'm wary.
Can I do an investigation or arcana check to
It'd
see
be
if
Arcana for like spells and whatnot. Yeah.
I just want to see if I can tell if it's a normal book.
Um.
Like that it is actually a book and not a mimic or an illusion or something else.
I mean,
you know?
typically with mimics, you aren't able, if it's a mimic, I think you would at least know, typically you can't distinguish a mimic from a normal object unless it's a movie. Like, ever. So you would not be able, you would not know whether or not it's a mimic or not.
But in Dark Souls, if the chain is broken,
But in
You can-
D&D, you can't tell, sir.
yeah, then I just want to check for warding spells
Okay.
that I can tell, cantrips or.
I would think you would be an Arcana check for that, yeah. You kind
Stab
of,
it with a knife.
yeah, you kind of look through it. With what you have, you don't detect anything that seems to be protecting this.
I flip it
book.
I flip it open to like a few pages in.
All right,
then.
so yeah. Okay. Go ahead and give me
Con save.
just a straight intelligence check. No,
Okay.
nothing weird. I think this is the same time as Luke comes like running into the building. Okay.
Fuck, I'm just rolling so bad.
Sorry, I meant to do with advantage.
That's more like it.
All right. You recognize one of the spells as one that you know. It is. You recognize it as false life. You recognize this as being potentially a spell book.
Well, I'll tell you what, Elle. This seems like a necromancer's tome. It's made of flesh. The only spell I recognize offhand is definitely from the school of necromancy.
And then Luke comes barging in.
Yeah, and then Luke comes barging in. I think at that
Oh.
same time, you guys start to hear a thud
Ugh.
from under the his
Floorboards.
house. Yeah, floorboards. That's where I wanted.
Is Glod with us?
God's
No.
drinking.
He's an alcoholic right now.
So Luke comes dashing in then, I guess. I'm like,
Oh,
look,
hey,
Luke,
you know,
you're soaking wet. You're soaking wet.
you know,
Slow-
it's not important. There, you know, there's
Slow down.
skeletons there. They're
Skeletons.
everywhere. Yeah,
What?
they're kind of walking around. I saw one kind of jump out and like randomly attack and stuff there. You know,
Wait,
it's
stop.
crazy.
Slow down. You said skeletons walking around.
Yeah, you know, I said skeletons walking around. Yeah.
Very interesting. Well, that's actually very bad news, but let's take care of it so I can start to study it. Please.
You know, I thought you'd think it'd be interesting there. Anyway, so I brought the mayor's keys here with us. I thought it might help us in our search.
Well, we already
Go,
opened
go,
a
go,
secret
go, go.
hatch.
and I like motion to the popped open floorboard. And I say, and we found this, and I point to the book on the desk.
And I'm like, it's a necromancer's tome.
So how close does it look to being his other book of magic he has, Raxus's?
It's somewhat similar.
Oh, you know, have you tried swapping the books out there and do a little switcheroo and see if, you know, whoever it is will notice?
I pull my backpack off my back and start rooting through it, pull out Raxus's book, and hold them side by side just to compare.
It is pretty obvious they are not the same.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yes, they're both made of flesh, but they don't look like they were maybe made by the same person or at the same time. Possibly they're too different. He would notice. A wizard knows his own tome.
You know, though, if it's not his book there, then he might not notice the difference. Also, if he is a wizard and he has been dabbling in evil magic there, that's something we should be aware of.
Necromancy is not evil. Let me remind you.
You know, that's why I said if he's dealing in, evil ways.
It is a source for concern. Well, I mean, we'll slide Raxus's book in the secret kind of passage there.
And then, it'll be there in the future,
I slide it down with the spine upward, so you can't get a good look at the face of the book. And I close the secret hatch, and I'm like,
We should take care of these skeletons before it grows worse. It very well may have something to do with this book.
Well, you want me to take a look at the book at all?
Yes,
You know,
can you? Before we leave, let's take a few minutes to gather ourselves for a battle. I think first things first, we should seek out Glod. But take your time, cast your rituals, and let me know what your magical eyes see.
Okay. So, Aaron, what do I got here? Magic item analysis?
You're gonna try to identify the spell book?
Yeah. We
No, I
detect
think-
magic.
I don't
Yes, I'm gonna try to identify more about the spell book.
I don't think you can
Using-
identify a spell book. No, you can identify a
The
magical.
nature of the book.
The nature of the book. Okay, I can give you nature of the book. It is definitely a spell book that would be used by a necromancer. You aren't like most of the magical energies you get from it is that.
Can I read any of these spell title names? And would I know them?
It would take.
Because I can read spells. I can use spell scrolls.
You can use spell scrolls, but it takes
So I would be able to identify.
to do a spell
Look.
scroll is a short rest to identify like one of the spells.
Well, do we have 10 minutes?
It's not 10 minutes for a short rest right now.
Alright, can I short rest and walk and read at the same time?
No.
Can I
You're not
just
resting.
have one of them carry me?
Oh,
Alright, then I'll just.
I say we give them the book.
You know. No,
But
I
f-
don't
but-
think so. I think we should somehow find a way to, make everyone believe that the book is, I don't know. I just don't want to give them the book. I don't care how we do it.
Okay, well, there's going to be a battle. We came here to help this town. I think not giving them the book would not be helping
But,
the town.
if you know that if they come back again, they're just going to cave again and give them all their stuff, That's not really helping them.
If they come back again, if we give them the book, they hopefully won't come back. If
You
we
know, if
don't,
we
they're
just-
going to come back until we're all dead, and we'll have to leave.
But if
To
we
their
destroy
fate.
them all now, we will never have to worry about them again. You know that, right? Elle, you agree with me, right?
I can't say that I do.
Where's the voice of reason here? Let's go find Clyde. Clyde will know what to do.
If I'm the voice of reason, there's a problem.
I agree we should find Glod, but only because things are about to get dangerous. Now let us avoid skeletons and move quickly on the way. Everyone
Okay.
ready?
right.
Mark.
Okay, so you guys exit out of Aziz's home, leaving it completely unguarded, and head off to find Glod. None of you guys know where you go back towards the gate where you last saw him, where you all just left him all alone, sad, and with a bunch of people that he just met.
Do we see any guards on the way we can stop and ask?
Most of the guards you see are typically in combat trying to deal with these skeletons. As you exit out, Magnus, I think, well, actually all of you notice looks like there was a couple. There seems to be more and more growing as time goes on. They're still kind of just attacking random things that get in their way. They're not chasing after anything, but they are a nuisance. Like,
Luke, I think we should get rid of this book as soon as possible. We can take on the skeletons or the orcs, but not both.
Why don't we get the orcs to solve our problem here?
I think by giving them the book, we may be doing just that. They'll take this dark magic away from the town.
They might take it away from the town, but you gotta remember that they're gonna use it on somebody else. And we're gonna have to deal with it there, because that's our responsibility as a Shadowguard. Don't
Well-
you ever turn your back on a fight,
I agree, but we have to pick our battles. Maybe that's when we should come back for in force.
Who else are gonna come back with force with there? This town folks when they're all gone and wiped off the map when we're not here? It's time to take a stand, and I say we take it now.
Luke, we cannot fight an entire town full of skeletons and orcs. We are extremely outnumbered, one side or the other.
But
We're
then
doomed.
you just need better strategy. You don't need to, hide.
I'm like, look around you, and I'm assuming we just see guards.
You just see guards,
fighting
yeah.
and dying everywhere.
This is inside the walls. There's twice as much of this outside.
And
You're
you think
being
that they don't have to deal with
ridiculous.
the crap that when they come here, they'll have to deal with the same things we do. We just have to hide from all of it. So they eliminate each other, and then we attack the winner. You know, it's easy.
So you're going to let the town die. We stayed here to fight this battle, and now we're going to hide until they all
No,
die.
you take everybody in the town, and you move them to a safer location. Isn't it obvious?
Yes, it is obvious. It's too late for that. Look around you.
We're standing in the midst of a giant battle. Let me remind you.
How many skeletons are battling right now?
If you look like a quick glance around, you probably see about 10 or 11 of them.
And there's more rising up, right? And this is just
Yep.
one little part of
And
town.
this has been
It's been like, what, 20,
probably
30 minutes?
30 minutes since the parlay or so. Slowly just increasing more.
So,
and more.
you
I
just
have
gotta,
the
like,
book
say,
in my
read the
pack,
book
by
there.
the way.
They go look through the book, you know, solve this problem there, and then we can go deal with the orcs.
So, down the street, I think you hear a door being, forcefully opening, going, "What the hell's all this noise out here? Oh shit!"
Drinking's
Do we
over,
see-
boys.
Do we see Glod poke his head out down the street?
Yes, you do.
Hey, does this mean that there's now enough people to fight these skeletons? That they were all drinking with Glad, apparently.
There was like 8 of them with
30?
Rod. 8.
Come on, boys. I think we got some work out here.
And they all get up, they grab their pitchforks and whatever other farm tools they have as commoners. The Greylaws grab their swords and they head out like, "What are you talking about? Oh, what the hell?" And they get out there and they start going to work. You hear them just go, grab anything that hits hard, like a hammer, something that'll bludgeon them to death. Seems to work the best. And then they start going to town after all of these. So Magnus, what? Like, I'm assuming, Glad, you kind of like work your way up to the group. I'm not gonna have
Oh,
rules
yeah.
because the skeletons are quite easy to kill.
God, it's good to see
You,
you.
you do know there's a bunch of skeletons around here, right?
Yes, we see that. It's quite fascinating.
Magnus is like smiling real big.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you knew. You seem to just be standing here.
Well, let me fill you in. The orcs will leave us alone if we give them this book.
And I pull the book out of my pack.
Just
And I
shoot
look
them.
over at Luke and I say,
But Luke doesn't want to give it to them.
How do we know they won't just use the book on the town once we give it to them?
We don't, really, but
See, I told you he is the voice of reason there.
I just don't see how we're going to defend against orcs and skeletons from the inside and outside.
I mean, you could roughly copy this weird squiggly right into a new book. Maybe not exact copy, but
I'm a decent scribe. I could attempt it, but I don't know if they would accept that.
Is that something I'm capable of doing?
No, typically spells is the same idea as like when you have to copy it over, you're not just copying over the writing. It's illegible almost in a sense.
well, you have to
Just
take time to decipher it.
decipher it,
yeah.
and then transfer almost in a sense, imprint that arcane knowledge
So-
into a new book.
Based
Can
on
I-
what I
can I
based on what I
pose-
flipped through, how many spells was it? Like pretty full.
It's decently full. How much have you flipped through it?
I'm gonna say at this point quite a bit. Now that I've shown it to
Fine.
Luke and everyone.
Can I
about-
pose?
go ahead, Luke. You can go before I.
Can I propose a fraudulent copy by just making it artificially look that way and then imbuing it with a spell to make it feel arcane?
See, that's what I was suggesting.
Man,
Because giving them the actual spells probably wouldn't be a great idea if... Otherwise, we'd just give them the book, likely.
Magnus,
That's
you
something I'm able to do is what I'm gonna ask.
possibly. Magnus, you find about halfway through, the spellbook ends, and you then find what looks to be some kind of writing. I don't think you can decipher it. Let me double check and see what languages you know.
I don't really know much. I don't think language-wise.
Hopefully you know
No,
Draconic.
you do not then. In a language you are unaware of what it is, that seems to go on and on for pages. On pages.
There's some other kind of writing in the back here. Does anyone recognize this?
Let's see. What do you got? What else Luke.
I know Halfling and Elvish.
No. Elle.
I assume it's not dwarven.
It's not dwarven. No. So none of you recognize this.
I bet you it's Draconic or
Very
Eldritch
exotic.
or bullshit. Is it Wood Elf? Wood Elf's pretty exotic.
We're up to. It would just be. It would be Elvish in this.
Damn.
But none of you recognize the writing.
You know, can I just start making a physical copy of this? Would you mind?
What?
Oh, you're going to flub it on purpose, right?
No, I'm actually going to write it down so we have reference material for later, so we know how to handle the situation no matter what happens.
Deciphering and copying the spellbook would take
No. You
experienced mage a lot of time.
We don't need the time. We just need to make it look legible enough where you can read it. That way we understand what the book is, not necessarily having the book.
So you want to flub it, like I originally asked.
Sure, but we can actually keep the copy there and figure it out later. You know, it's
I
like
don't-
making a charcoal wash of like a headstone or something. You know.
I don't think you understand how particular you have to be when writing out these arcane runes and ciphers. It's not something
dabbled in the
it's not something you can approximate. That is extremely dangerous.
Do I think I can approximate the area well enough?
No. The spells themselves, there's no way you're gonna be able to copy. Even like a fake. Because you
The
have to
stuff I the
Magnus
stuff
is
we
gonna
don't
say
know,
like
though.
Magnus is gonna be like, if you get one of those runes wrong, those spells will blow up in your face and
back
kill
of
you.
the book, if managed to make mention of it, yes, you probably could copy that. But the
That's what I'm
spells
copying.
themselves, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say let us copy this down. This is not a spell. This is not a spell cipher. This is just in some.
That's
other
what I was
language.
talking about there. That whole language we understand until we figure
Sure.
out whose language it is. That's what
But
I originally wanted to
let
do.
me tell you, I know from experience what happens when you copy a rune incorrectly in a spell. It's the reason I'm in the Shadowguard.
Okay, there. I don't know if you told me about that story.
Maybe I will sometime. Maybe not.
Okay, well, we still have orcs, so.
And skeletons.
I'd say the
Yes, they do.
skeletons
Oh, yeah,
are a more
thanks,
pressing
guys.
are a more pressing matter right now.
So, I guess I copy the
It's going to take you a while to do, Luke.
How long's a while?
Well, it is multiple pages. You're probably looking at 20 plus pages to do. If you and Elle teamed up to do it together, copying in a language you don't know, trying to get the exact written part of it. Let's go ahead and go.
Can we
both of
just
you,
tear it out of the book, or no? You think they know this?
Try tearing it out of the book if you want. But it would probably take you a couple hours more than likely. I mean,
Yeah, fuck it. I'll just tear it out of the book and give them the
so
spells.
man, hand me the book, and you just watch him open. He starts. You see the motion.
Luke,
he's like,
no!
and just rips them out.
I solved that problem there. Here's the book. Feel free to hand it to him. And I take the stuff and I stick it in the bag of holding.
Could have at least used enough to make
So
it look
20
clean.
pages of unknown language. Okay, thank you.
Oh, that seems nice. Okay, so, yes. What's our next step there? Oh, skeletons, that's right.
Punching
Better light.
skeletons.
Did you meet? Ooh.
Is this a good time to take a break? This is hour 2.
Yeah, we can do the yeah. So we will see how the group handles orcs, skeletons, and everything else that's happening in this town. When we come back in like 5 minutes. Hang
Burn the
tight.
town down and run away.
Woo! That's
unmuted the proper things. So let's get this show on the road. You have torn out. We see like, the kind of the flashback in with Luke just and then no, as you rip the pages. Skeletons are fighting. Guards are pulling them off. Are breaking their bones. More and more climbing up and out of the ground. You hear the crack of the wood inside the mayor's house break open from that little pounding you were hearing earlier. What do you guys do? It's been probably it's only been about a half hour since you guys did a parlay, so you have probably 5 hours before noon.
Shit. I forgot about the pounding under the floorboards.
I guess we started killing skeletons.
Okay. So, skeletons are quite easy to overcome. What we're going to do is we're going to see how many, with you guys' assistance, how many skeletons you're able to take out prior to noon, and how many peasants, potential, or commoners die in the process also. So, what I want each of you to do, we're going to do kind of I kind of feel like a luck roll in this case to see how many you're able to you find and do and all that type of stuff. So go ahead and roll. Let's just roll survival. It sounds proper.
Oh no!
A 10 or higher. It's gonna be a group roll. 10 or higher are you do really well, or you do well. 15 or higher, you do extremely well. 5 to 9, some people die. And then
No! Most people die.
really bad with a 5 or lower.
Oh, at least I'm not doing the worst.
Aaron, can I use my secret weapon?
You can use that for that, yeah.
How?
You
I
just,
can't click on the.
You just use it. I don't know why it's not working, but just mark down one of your luck die. And go ahead and make your roll again.
This is the worst.
Oh my god, I love you all.
My god!
I love all of you.
Can I only use one?
You can only use one, but it went from being a horrible to almost only kind of horrible.
God,
Just
we
to
should
give
not
you-
be entrusted to kill. People are gonna think we're incompetent, guys.
I mean, it's not necessarily that you guys are like
Fail?
floundering trying to kill these. It's just that there are so many more skeletons rising up and attacking than normal.
we're getting
Like
overwhelmed.
this, I mean, even the guards as you're fighting, like this is not the normal amount. This is like 3-4 times more than we normally have to deal with. Something's going on right now. Like there is something happening in the town, and you probably for the next hour or so you're trying to help out and whatnot. I think at one point, Luke, when you're fighting, you see the guards that were supposed to go find Aziz are somewhere else, like fighting, like off other skeletons. They didn't get a chance to even wake them up or find them.
Nah, fuck it, I'm sure he's fine.
And the fight goes on, and as you're kind of going through the streets, like had you been here 10 minutes earlier, these commoners that are laying dead, sprawled on the floor, might still be here.
Necessary loss for the greater good.
But at that same point, you're seeing as you come around other corners, these commoners that have fallen recently are now starting to rise from the dead and become zombies themselves.
Okay. Duh.
Wounds freshly made. As the horde of the skeleton horde is now starting to slowly overwhelm the area, and I think they kind of look towards you, the group as you kind of like there's a few around. And they're like, "What do we do? Do we run?"
I think it's time to evacuate the city there. Go find as many commoners as you can and leave out the south. Are they all by the north gate or south gate, Aaron?
Who?
The court. The battle. Are they all around 100%?
They're kind of on a they're on a 180 from the south gate to the north gate on the west side of the map.
So take everybody and leave out the east gate there, as quickly as possible, and then we'll figure out what to do from there.
Okay. And as Luke's words finish, all the skeletons, zombies, all collapse.
What the hell you do, Luke?
Maybe they just kind of fell in fear of my master plan.
I want to examine the book again, see if there's any change. Can I tell if there's any link between the book and this stuff going on?
Give me an investigation. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're kind of flipping through the book, and it's it's not as heavy as it once was. As you flip through it, and you find one you're familiar with, and not in the best of ways, like you mentioned previous. I don't know if you want a flashback on it, but you see a spell that you once tried to copy in your own book.
Oh. Can I try and copy it into my own book? It does take me half the time. If it's necromancy.
Okay, it's still what, 15? It's a half hour.
15 minutes.
I say
Yeah.
it's a half hour to copy, or it's an hour to copy.
So probably not then.
So I mean, you could eventually, but yeah,
Well, I think we're gonna. Well, I don't know. I feel like
it's something involving it, but it's not exactly the same. Like there's nothing like within your power that, like that you could have done to raise this many this quickly in this
Right.
range. So something else is going on.
so. I would know that not. Yeah, normally a single necromancer of my
Caliber.
skill level would not be able to have this many undead underneath them at once.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if we should go with, like, evacuate the town with them, or if we should stay and try and give the book to the orcs. I feel like if they evacuate, they're just gonna get picked off by orcs as they escape. I know. Anyway, so all the skeletons collapse, and I turn to Luke and I say,
It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the book. I mean, it's a book of necromancy, but no single wizard could raise that many undead.
Fair point there, but you can't, count your chickens before they hatch there. We still got a problem and we don't know what's going on.
Should we still evacuate the town? Should we still give the book to the orcs? I just don't know what the hell to do.
Well, if we give the books to the orcs, they gotta take all the, all these other things I imagine they want. We could risk it, but, we can't risk the town folks being here if they change their minds,
If we're already evacuating the town, why give the orcs the book? I mean, there's gonna be nothing for them to attack.
Well, yeah, maybe they'll just leave,
I think if we take the book, they'll follow us.
Then if that's the case, why don't we leave the town with the book there and make it clear that, we've left town and try to outrun them.
That's not a bad idea. I don't think that's such a bad idea. Why don't we wait for the meeting with the orcs? Show them the book. And then we long strider our way right past them.
That sounds great, but I actually don't have that prepared.
What spells do you have ready?
I'm not gonna say nothing, actually.
He's tapped out.
The magical juices kind of run dry there.
Then we're out of choices. We don't have enough horses. Maybe we can get horses from the town.
Don't forget, Jericho is inside with your tiny hut.
Yes, we can't abandon the tiny, tiny hut.
in this town.
First off, it's a tiny, tiny person's house, okay? Second off, we can't. You're right. So let's just take that now and send the books down, and then we'll catch up with it later.
Then I think we're leaving the town for an attack. If we don't show up with the book at noon, we're just dooming all of these people.
Yeah, but they kind of gave us a large window to work with there. I mean, we got 3 hours there, 4 hours before problems arise.
So you're okay with leaving the town to die?
No, we take them with us, silly.
Oh, okay. So you just want to evacuate and go with?
Somebody has to watch them get
Alright,
safely
so-
somewhere.
I'm just gonna interrupt here really quick and make mention of orcs riding wargs versus commoners and not enough horses.
my point exactly.
So-
They can all just fall off a cliff. Is there a cliff nearby?
So
There's
he leaves them
conveniently-
behind as ward bait.
It's conveniently surrounded by all cliffs. There's nothing else around. No, there are no cliffs.
Damn! I thought they would just run off the cliff.
It's on a plateau. It's a weird town.
Convenient.
That would be very convenient.
It looks like we're cornered in. We don't have much choice.
I think you start to hear a little rustle in the bushes nearby.
Oh no.
And you hear, And it's
Oh,
Aziz.
I stuffed the
kinda-
book in my backpack.
Oh, hey there!
Aziz.
How's it going, sleepyhead?
Sleepy. What is
It kind of fell.
how late is it? Did they leave?
No.
We need to talk.
Magnus pulls the book back out of his bag, actually, and says,
Where
"About
did
this.
you? And he kind of where did you find that?
You know where I found it.
Thieves, and think I trusted you.
Well, being a thief is better than being a liar.
Hold
I'm
on
not a
there.
liar. I have never lied about anything.
Hold on there. So first
No,
off,
you
we
hold on.
defended your
Give me my
book.
book back.
You knew exactly which book the orcs wanted, and you lied about it.
They can't have my book. My research is more important.
So quick question there. If this is your book and it's related to the skeletons, so are you the ones responsible for
No,
that?
no. How could I be? How could I? Where were their skeletons? And he kind of looks out. I don't know. I was sleeping.
I think it's all coming together for Magnus maybe a little bit now. I'm gonna say,
Did you make some horrible mistake here? Is that why all of these undead have come back?
No.
Irresponsible necromancers like you give
I'm not.
good
I'm not
people
a
like me a bad
necromancer.
name.
I use it for research.
Research of
I
what
study
kind?
into the necromancy to know a way to counteract it. Fight it.
So,
can I tell if he's lying?
Go and give me an insight.
if that's the
He
case,
seems to be very earnest about what he's saying. He, at least in the way he said it, he is trying to find a way to counteract necromancy. Because in the same idea is, he kind of goes on to explain that he is trying to, everything's undead. The entire world is plagued by it. If he can find a way to reverse it, maybe he can make everywhere safe. Which
Well,
also
I
means
think-
dabbling into necromancy to understand it.
I think by trying to make it better, you've only spread the plague to your own village.
But I would never. I have never used one of these spells in my life. She also seems to be telling the truth about it. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check, Magnus. Okay. Even with that, you get a tinge of like magical nature off of him. As if maybe recently he casted something. But
So that seems like a lie
in-
to me, is what you're telling me.
no. Everything he's saying from his point of view is he is not lying. At that same point, Luke, maybe listening on this, Luke, you know that Aziz has been asleep probably for the last hour.
oh,
One thing-
wait, wait, what happened now?
I'm assuming I realized that too as he gets up out of the bush. I mean, I was there
Yeah.
when we formulated the plan. But the fact, like, this could be this is a long-term effect. It's been happening for a while. So
At night.
doesn't mean he had to cast the spell an hour ago.
True. It also happens at night. And typically does not happen during the day.
Oh, ain't there? I think it finally clicked there. Are you being attacked or in your dreams or something there? Because every time, if this has been happening at night, usually when you sleep there and you just recently took a nap and it happened, shouldn't that be the problem there?
Aziz, we need to put you back to sleep and watch what happens.
You permanently?
No, not permanently.
Luke, do you
Alright,
have
okay.
do you have any more of that drug, that medication?
He looks at you. Luke.
No.
What do you mean
You
drug?
know, I don't know. Hey, if you kind of sit
Wait,
down.
no,
for a
no, no,
moment-
no. He said drug.
No.
You have did you drug
He
me?
doesn't know what he's talking
You
about
drugged
there.
me.
He said, hey, how would I drug you there? What would I drug you with?
It was the pudding, wasn't it? You
No,
said it was
you
a
thought
special.
Always the
You said it was
pudding.
a special crafted, special edition pudding.
Yeah.
You drugged
it's
me.
Rich and, it's rich
Can
and,
Can I try and sneak around him and whack him in the back of the head with my quarterstaff during this
Sure.
argument to knock him out, knock him cold?
Yeah, I'm not gonna have you roll. I'm fine with you just knocking his ass out.
I just want a baseball swing at the back of his head with the quarterstaff and knock him unconscious.
Yeah, we just watch Magnus like sneak around, and jump and
Like in the middle of Luke's argument with
you drop. Falls, hits the ground, smacks. He's gonna have a nice big old welt on the back of his head when he wakes up again.
You know, if he's actually knocked out and this happens again, we can't wake him up. You know that, right?
If he's knocked out and this happens again, I think this is obviously the work of Raxus. Whether he be an innocent bystander or not, he's a conduit for something much worse, it seems.
Yeah, but you know,
As he's slowly
How do we wake
drowning in
him
the
up?
mud water.
I pick up his head. And as I'm continuing my conversation,
Okay. You roll him over. So you guys sit around, looking.
Now we wait and watch.
Yeah, you wait and watch. About 10, 15 minutes after his dream, you start
I-
to see him move around, like swipe at things in his sleep, as skeletons begin to raise from the ground.
I go through my bag and look for Epsom salt or something to wake him up. Smelling
You
salts.
look through your
I
general
was gonna
store.
say smelling salts.
I looked at the general store.
him a
Is
nice
there
bath.
anything in the general store?
you draw him a lovely fragrant bath.
Whatever, it's smelling salt.
Do they have smelling salts at the general store?
At this general store, probably.
Maybe we should just end him, Luke.
No, I'm not okay with that there.
Well, you didn't seem to mind doing it to a farmer. This man
you
is
know,
a
you
conduit
wanna-
for evil.
You know, you first off, you don't know that. Second off, you're suggesting that we just end a man who's not at fault there. Now, who's the evil person?
Do you know any other way to end this plight?
Pick up his head. Smelling salts.
Well, he could.
I
just
mean,
never
I'm kind of
sleeping
with
in.
him on. I don't think the general store would have smelling salts. Maybe the
would
alchemist
they?
shop.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go loot the alchemy shop in the meantime.
I'm gonna be punching more skeletons.
All right, so you guys. Okay, so you start punching the skeletons to come up. Elle, what are you doing?
Raiding an alchemist shop sounds like great fun.
It does, doesn't it?
Okay, we're gonna raid an alchemist shop.
Magnus is gonna stay with his body, and I guess Glod is gonna protect me.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll
So-
fight next to Glod while we protect Aziz's body.
okay. You guys head over to the alchemist shop. It's got a bunch of different powders, and they have potions. You see in a locked glass case behind the counter. And there's like smelling salts and other stuff on the sides, herbal remedies and whatnot. There doesn't seem to be anybody inside.
Okay, Elle, so what did we come here for again? All the potions and maybe some smelling salts? Is that what you said?
It
Yeah.
they could be used for the greater good at some point, I'm sure.
Well, you know, I like the way you think. I like the cut of your jib and whatnot there. Go ahead and open it up as I get the salts there. So I put my arm on the shelf and just start sliding everything into the bag.
Okay, so Elle, what do you go do?
I'm going to get the salt while he, well, I'll be a bystander to this thievery.
What?
So
are
you're just gonna sit
thieving?
there and watch. So he tells you to
As
go
I-
get the potions, and you just sit there and wait.
No, I want to get the salt, but then once I have it, I just want to wait till he's done with whatever he's
So
doing.
just the salt.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to, and she grabs like the salt that's about to go in the bag of holding, and grabs onto it, and just watches as you pour a bunch of like, you know, turmeric and other smelling salts,
all
some
the cooking
clover,
seasonings
just
too.
like yes, all this weird crap that is completely worthless.
But
um,
worthless to you, not to me.
Yeah. Okay. You gain.
I think all the expensive
You
things.
gain some alchemy supplies, is what you
Awesome. I put 5 gold on the counter and walk away.
gain. Okay.
Specifically 5 gold.
All right, and then the potions are still sitting in the glass little container, in like a wooden box with glass like windows, in the back along the whole like shelf. What do you guys do?
So,
you leave them there, or do you go on and just leave with what
So
you got?
Elle, you know, if I don't see you do it, it's not a crime. You know that, right? As I turn around, looking at the door, starting to whistle.
My morals, where are they? I guess, why not?
Well, I was going back into the. She's getting dragged back into the bad times. So okay, so Elle, what do you do?
Welcome
Describe to me
back.
what you do.
I start like I realize this like mindset of like things are mine. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine.
Okay.
My God. Did I go back to the
The
Still.
behind this. Okay. It is. There is a little lock, like inside of the this like wooden glass case.
I suppose I get my lockpick.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a use your thieves tools.
Ah.
18. Okay. So you go in, and it takes a little bit of time. This is a very complicated lock. As you go to get, you're like, I got it, and you turn it, and then this needle shoots out and stabs you in your finger. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh fuck. The alchemist got traps in his shit.
Hey, you save, so you take half of this.
25
You take
d6s.
15 damage as the poison
Oh my
courses through you. And the lock
Wow.
is still locked.
Oh.
You set the trap. You did not unlock it.
What a bitch.
Would I hear her making a noise or anything, or am I still whistling
Elle,
obnoxiously?
as this poison, like you get like, and you just feel the searing pain just go up your arm and towards your heart. What do you do? How do you react?
Ah, for fuck's sake.
Are you okay back there?
Well, you see, alchemists, they like to set traps apparently.
Okay, how about this? How about I take care of it for you?
Sure.
I walk over to the hammer and chisel the lock off.
You chisel the lock off. Okay.
And I even try picking it, just gonna boop, chisel it off.
What?
I'll break it off the cabinet lock part.
Well, it's like it's inlaid into it, so think of it like this is the flush
Whatever.
wall, and like the circle. It's like literally right on it.
Screwdriver. Tap that lock.
Right. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check. We're going like dexterous, like. Okay, 15. So yeah. You do get it. At that same time as you're shaking it, though, 2 of the potions burst and break and pool out.
Oh no! You know, collateral damage for something we don't own. Who cares? Let's keep getting the rest of this shit.
Okay. Inside of it are 4 potions. You do not recognize any of them. You do not
Oh,
recognize-
I think these are good. I think this one here, I start making up random things they do and just handing them to Elle. This one turns you into a great eagle. I think this one here gives you something for water breathing. Ooh, that one's interesting. Hand it to her. Oh, this one is, I think this one allows you to walk on walls. Cool stuff, Then I hand it to you.
What? You have a bag.
Yeah, but that was my loot. This is your loot.
Right. I suppose I'll have Magnus look at these and see if he recognizes them.
Don't tell him where you got them, though, okay?
Right.
Okay.
I'm proud of you there, champ.
I've noticed that Luke isn't a murder hobo. He's a loot hobo. It's very similar, but just without the murder.
Yes, it is.
Best thing you could possibly want.
Actually, not without the murder, just with
I was gonna say, there were-
a little less. Yeah. There have been murders.
Okay, so you go back out, meet up. Glad you've taken care of most of the skeletons that appeared nearby as they start to rage. You're just destroying them before they can get a chance to move. Magnus, I'm assuming you're kind of wiping a few out here and there as Luke and Elle return. With Elle seems to have a couple potions on her side now or in her pack. You can hear a little bit of jingle. And Luke has, she has a little thing of smelling salts.
Oh, hey there! I think I brought some smelling salts.
Elle also looks a little
It
worse.
looked like
over
that.
there.
It looks like that place was, booby trapped or something there. You somebody went through and raided it before we got there. Right, Al?
Yeah, right.
Must have been the same people that covered the inn in oil. Still don't get that.
Well, that's the first time hearing of that there. That's crazy there. As I'm like administering the salts.
Okay. He wakes up. Oh. As the skeletons all fall and collapse, the few that have been raised in the last like 15 minutes or so.
I throw whatever's in my hand on the ground and says, "I knew it! I told you that it was his unconsciousness was
Why
the
did
problem
you hit
here."
me?
Well, you weren't being cooperative.
It wasn't that you weren't being cooperative. We needed to test a theory. I do apologize about hitting you.
Right.
Listen
He
to me,
drugged
Aziz.
me.
Listen to me, Aziz. Look at me. You understand this is important.
Does he look at me?
He kind of looks like he might have a concussion a little bit. So he's like trying to, but it's kind of wobbling a bit.
I'm like, you are the cause. You are being accessed in your sleep from a dark wizard, and he is using you to raise these undead.
Preposterous.
I just watched it happen, sir. Is there anything... It's hard for a wizard to gain that kind of power without having some kind of conduit. Is there something that might be linking you to Raxus? Something dark or evil that he's channeling his power through to take control of you? Might it be this book? Where did
Maybe-
you get this book?
I bought it. Traveler traveling through the town.
Yes,
I
what did
recognized it.
What did this traveler look like?
Don't know. I didn't see his face.
Yes, Black Hood.
Yes. That's
Fine.
typical.
I turn and look at the rest of the party.
Thought so.
Okay, so what's our next step there?
We're taking this. This is ours now.
I turn to Aziz and wave the spellbook at him.
When the orcs come at noon, you tell them that we took it and we went south, and they can come find us.
But what about they're going to destroy the town?
Not
Is
if we have the book. That's all they want.
They said if we doing it in the books, and they attack.
Well, I mean, in your sleep, you're killing this town already, really. So,
Right. Would you rather fight orcs or skeletons? I think.
Then let me come with you.
but you're an elected official of this town. You can't.
know,
If I am a danger to the town, as you say, as long as he doesn't poison me anymore, let me come with you. Keep an eye. We can figure this out.
No worries. We'll make sure you don't sleep at all.
I think as long as you're close to this book, this problem will keep happening. We need to separate you from this artifact. It gives the wizard
Doom
power to
this
control
town.
you in your sleep.
I don't think we should abandon the town if he's dead set on believing they're going to attack anyway. Because that's one of the reasons we said we'd stay and help them.
So what do we do?
I think we should just give them the book what they want and let them leave. You are a different situation we'll have to deal with later.
I have an idea. Could we put some sort of magical tracking device on the book?
I do not know of such a spell. It's not in my expertise.
Would I know that druids can do that?
If druids actually can do that, then yes, because I don't.
Yeah,
actually
it's a basic druid. It's druid craft. It's like the
Oh.
most basic.
Yeah. I mean, yes, if a druid.
It's actually not even druid craft. Just knowing the druidic language allows you to place secret messages in druidic on something.
Ah, okay.
That is hard to recognize. Like there is a chance that people will recognize it, but it's like a DC 15 unless you're a druid.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if someone knows how to do that, then sure. But
Well, I'm gonna ask him. Is there any druids that live in this town? Anyone? Any red sashes?
the only person would be the alchemist. It's Frukar Elfbane.
Yes, he has experience with druidic magic.
Oh shit! I stole
yes.
the elf.
Where would we find him?
either at his shop or maybe he is out fighting. He's skilled with, different types of potions. He might make use of them to defend the town.
Okay, well, we will give the books to the orcs, and you will stay here and help your town rebuild. But we will use him to track the book, and we will find the orcs, so they cannot continue to terrorize your town once they have this magic at their disposal.
Okay.
Does this sound agreeable to everyone? And I look around at all the party.
Sure.
Fine by me.
Let us find Frukar.
Okay, you guys go looking for Frukar. Let's just do random luck type things. Let's go survival again to track him down. You guys can start from the alchemist and we'll just see. So, same idea, group rolls, and it'll determine how much time it takes.
Said survival?
Yeah. You're gonna find him eventually. How long does it take to go? I need one from nobody. Okay. Alright, yeah, you guys find him actually semi-quickly. You go to the alchemist shop first, look around. Magnus, the place is very empty. And there
It looks
is...
like it's been ransacked. I turn to Luke and Elle.
It was like that when we got here for those salts.
Oh, it's a shame, looting. It really is. Anyway, let's move
Kind of
on.
low
Let's
life to
find,
never do that.
let's find Frukar. Yes, I know, it's disgusting. Who would...
It's despicable.
Anyone who would loot a place like this, I put a hand on Elle's shoulder and I'm like, anyone who would do this is just absolutely disgusting. Am I right, Elle? Anyone
Plus,
who would
there's
steal...
nothing worth stealing here anyway. There's no
Elle,
pudding.
you feel a little tinge of the poison that was still a little, course through your body. And how does Magnus's words make you feel?
I wouldn't call it disgusting, I've known some really good people who are thieves.
Yes, I suppose there are those who steal out of need, you're right, but this is senseless looting. This is a little different.
Maybe it was multiple people that needed multiple things.
Maybe they just took his stuff for, civil defense. You don't know what's going on there. Or about another time there.
Yes, I agree. I'm sorry.
If it's a problem there, we'll just get the Cardinal, pudding empire to send some crates of pudding down here. It'll make
What was that,
better.
Claude?
I mean, if you have the guards with you and you do it, it's not a little, but how do you think I got all the beer?
He still got one in his hand.
Magnus laughs to himself and then
Says, okay, let us try and find this man.
Okay. Yeah. Takes the first place you go is to the south gate, and it just so happens that he's there, passing out a few healing potions to those that are weak and injured from the fights with skeletons. And he kind of stands up. He as he turns to face you, you notice that he has one eye missing. As he does, the Frukar does.
and he's an elf?
He is an elf.
What happened to you?
He looks at you and goes, "It is not proper to speak in such a tongue in front of all these that cannot understand us. Be above that."
But last time you told me you wanted to speak Elvish to me.
That was not Frukar.
That was Frukar.
Was it? It was Frukar.
It was Frukar.
Pretty sure it was in Lindwall.
Frukar was like, hello. No, it was in this town.
Fine. But in this case, you look at him, he seems to be saying, he goes, in this case, I mean, with the mood of the battle and stuff like that, he looks at you and just kind of, he's like, this is not.
Well, I was just worried about, your personal well-being there. I just want to make sure you're doing okay. But,
I'm missing an eye, but I'm doing okay.
If there's anything we could do for you, just let us know afterwards. We'll,
if you could check on my shop and make sure no one's stolen anything from it, that would be great.
Oh, we were just there. I hate to break the news to you, but it looked like it's been kind of looted. We can send a guard if we see one over there right away, though.
It's tough news. All those ingredients I could have used to heal so many people here. Some are gonna die because of that now. Senselessly. Anyways, what can I do for you for?
I require your services. Actually, I don't believe we've met. Your name was Frukar.
Yes, my name is Frukar. Or Frukar.
Magnus
not Frukar.
reaches out and gives him a handshake and says,
Magnus and Marigold Munch. It's lovely to meet you.
Shadowguard, correct? I think I've heard your name around the town.
Indeed. I believe we could use your assistance. But you may have to come with us for a little while. I would be willing to pay for your time, and it would be a great deal to help
Well-
this town. It would probably save everyone here if you can help us.
You have my ear. What do you have in mind?
Well, Aziz has told me you know some of the ways of divine nature magic, those of the druids. I've heard that druids can cast indetectable runes in their secret language that can be tracked, possibly.
Yes, most of my power is spent, but that is something I could do. What are you looking to have tracked?
You know, out of character, now that I'm thinking about this, I don't know if he can actually track it,
Fine,
but
we'll
he
let
can.
it happen. It sounds cool.
Okay, he can recognize it if he sees it again.
Yeah.
So,
I just need you to. We're going to give this spell tome. It's a dark spell tome to the orcs. Well, that's what they attack for. That's what they wish. They promise to leave the town alone, but this is a powerful book, and I wish to go back and retrieve it, and attack them in their home territory. If you could cast some kind of hidden rune on this book, and you could help us track it back to the orcs' lair, we could launch a surprise attack and make sure they're not able to use the book or attack the town ever again. It will also keep the book away from him, and I point at Aziz, or if Aziz not with us, I say from Aziz.
From Aziz, I don't know what he would do with such a book, but I could play something like that, but I would still have to be within a certain distance of it. Otherwise, I will lose it. So if something, either I can go myself and try to stay hidden, and then return to you once I find out where their base location is at, or you can come with me now, and we hunt them down once they go where they go.
Yes, I think you should join us, and we should find them and hunt them down together.
Sounds like a splendid idea. So we will give them the book. They will leave, as you say, and then we will then track them down, kill them all.
Indeed. The orcs come at noon. That's when we'll give them the book.
I will tend to those who need help with the limited supplies I now have.
Certainly,
And then
just
I
meet us
will-
at the north gate before noon.
Very well.
cool.
And he kind of turns around and goes back to aiding who he can.
So maybe he'll cast the druidic rune on the book, and then talk to a bird or something, and have the bird follow them, track the
I was
rune.
thinking something like that, yeah. Or animals really kind of slowly course back through and whatnot. So I think that is where we're gonna end it. A little bit more of a role-play-ish episode today. Combat just did not happen, but it will soon. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, please hit that follow button. And tune in next week. We will be on at 6 a.m. CST, 7 p.m. I said 6 a.m. tonight. 6 p.m. CST, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Mondays. Vlad will be hanging out with us for much longer as we are slowly sidetracking slightly. I think this mini quest will complete as of next session. I still had fun today, so I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I thought we had some really
great.
interesting story building, some interesting we learned about the characters. And hopefully we'll learn some more next week too. So, Magnus or Charlie, you got anything you want to say before we kind of close out?
Thanks so much for running this game, because it's always a blast. Thanks to all of you guys for playing with me, because I love playing with y'all. I think we're getting... It's awesome to see, we were good from the start, but we've gotten really good at role-playing with each other now, I think. And I really like it. I love these role-play sessions. Huge thanks to Seth for playing with us. Happy to have him as a guest. I hope we can keep him for as many episodes as possible. Yeah, give Amel a follow. If you haven't followed ML Wind on Twitch, our game master has his own channel. He's just nice enough to run this game on the Chop Shop Network here for all of us. So go give him a follow. Follow us on the Facebooks, the YouTubes, and those of you that are watching on Facebook, we'll try and stream as many episodes. We do it once a week. Sometimes the streams don't get approved in time, but we'll try and stream as many episodes to Facebook as we can for you. So.
Addition to that, actually, I forgot one more thing I have. I have almost finished like the alpha version, maybe more just alpha version of my Monster Hunter weapons now. So I have 2 more to put on my GM binder and like word them properly, and then I should be posting that to the Unearthed Arcana. So if you check out, keep an eye out in the next couple days, either on Charlie's Discord or on the Unearthed Arcana subreddit, you can kind of pitch some ideas and tell me what you think about them. It'd be great to know. So once again, everybody, thank you all, and we will see you next time.
Bye. Every few centuries, there comes a group of heroes, destined to save the world from the clutches of an evil force. These may not be those heroes. Squad!